Welcome back into Gowan Stadium in Hutchinson. We're in the Salt City tonight where the Class 2A state championship will be played here on the campus of Hutch Community College, also a joint facility with Hutch High. And this is the host side of not only the 2A game here tonight, but also the 3A game and the 1A game that will all take place here this weekend. Those two games, respectively, will go on tomorrow. But tonight, it's the sole focus. It's the only game going on in the state of Kansas. As far as high school football goes, already one champion crowned in the books, and that is Gardner Edgerton. 36-33 in a come-from-behind victory over Manhattan for the 6A title. And now we will dice things up here in Class 2A. Glad you could join us from the Equity Bank broadcast booth in Hutchinson here at Gowan Stadium. My name is Devin Haney, along with Russ Kossel. Brian Dennett is capturing film of this game that will be played back later on Salina Post YouTube channel, and also you can listen on 910 KINA AM, also 107.5 FM, and online, 910KINA.com. We will also have updates for you on the Salina Post Twitter page, at SPostSports. You can see all the action, keep up to date there if you are in and out and not able to listen here on the air. But glad you could join us for a state championship game for Southeast of Salina. It's their first title game since 2015. They won that game over Silver Lake that day in 2005. Excuse me, I said 15. It's 5 for Nemaha Central. Well, they're coming in. They're trying to walk out of here with their third straight trophy. These two teams hooked up in the playoffs in 2018. Southeast of Saline went into Seneca, and they won a first-round playoff battle against Nemaha Central. Since that time, the numbers are mind-boggling. Nemaha Central is 63-9 with 3 state titles in Class 2A. Southeast of Saline is 60-7 and has the longest regular win streak in the state of Kansas of all classes. And as we say that, Russ, we come to you for our new image audio keys to success tonight for Southeast of Saline.
Well, Southeast is going to get the ball first here to start this 2A state championship. And on offense, I think you got to establish early. Win on first and second down. Don't put yourself in third and long situations that we've seen the Southeast team convert third and 15 pluses in one drive last week against Beloit. And on defense, when it comes to that time, you got to stop the run.
The hero of the day from last week, well, one of them is Canyon Douglas. He will be back deep as Southeast of Saline is wearing their purple jerseys, also their white pants. Nemaha Central comes out, and they are having the all-white kits. And they will be wearing white helmets and white pants, white jerseys.
The anticipation right now, waiting for the clock to run down, what these kids got to be going through down on the field is clock ticking down under 10 seconds now. I think you got to set up a good return. We've seen teams keep it away from Thaxton and Douglas, but we've also seen them kick it short, swing it right back to one of those two guys and see what they can set up. Good field position to start this state championship.
Ready to kick it off for Nemaha Central and to get us underway is Levi Thomas. He has his right hand in the air, and he is ready to uncork it. As we view it from right to left, it's going to be a slow squibber that will go through Amarion Hollop's hands and end up with Tucker Thaxton. Thaxton on the return to the 30, and he's going to throw it in reverse, backpedal his way across the 35, and get to the 36-yard line. Nemaha Central celebrating a big hit on the play, but it's good field position here to start out for Southeast of Saline, and let's give you your starters. The engineer of this offense is Gannon Jacobson. The junior quarterback so far this season has thrown for over 2,000 yards. He has 106 carries on the ground, 721 rushing. He has also thrown for 31 touchdowns against just 10 interceptions and ran for another 8 touchdowns. Here comes Evan Watkins in motion. He'll be a tight slot to the right-hand side. They go to Grady Gebhardt. Straight up the middle, Gebhardt bounces off the first would-be tackler. He's across the 40 and up to the 44-yard line. Good carry on first down by Grady Gebhardt. It goes for 8 yards on that carry.
Led by those guys up front, Ian Nicholson, left to right, Ian Nicholson, Deacon Baird, Drew Weller, Brody Chambers, Kendall Miniman. You also have Caden Berrigan, Tucker Thaxton, and Malachi Hopkins out there at wideouts as well.
Here's a motion man. It's Tucker Thaxton. They'll sneak it into the belly of Gebhardt again, and Grady straight ahead. Looks like he's going to crack the 45, get to the 46, and be very close to a first down. They will spot it over there. Looks like it's going to be third down and about a football as they will stop Grady here at the 45. He needed the 46. So third down and short at the 46-yard line for this Southeast of Saline offense. Set up in the pistol. They go Play action to Gebhardt. It's a play action run. Jacobson bounces it out to the left-hand side. 50, 45, 40 into Thunder territory. And Gannon Jacobson rolls down to the 32-yard line. Sweet carry by Gannon Jacobson of 25 yards on his first carry of the night.
Yeah, set up very well with the play action and getting outside. He wanted to cut that one up. Nemaha Central over pursued. He gets to the outside and outruns the defenders on the far side of the field to bring up first down.
25 yards, and they have moved it now to the 32-yard line in Thunder territory. Back to Gebhardt. Grady working off the right-hand side, and he's going to move down to the 28-yard line. Again, your offensive starters, as we went over, along with Jacobson, your skill spots, Tucker Thaxton, Grady Gebhardt, Evan Watkins, Caden Berrigan, Malachi Hopkin. The guys up front, to start anyway, there will be rotators. Ian Nicholson, Deacon Bear on the left of Drew Weller, who's your center, Brody Chambers, and Kendall Miniman on the right-hand side. Those starters brought to you by the Jeff Wells Agency of American Family Insurance. Beautiful night for football, very drastically different than 1 year ago today, where Nemaha Central was playing in Salina. Back to Gebhardt they go. Huge hole on the left-hand side. And Gebhardt inside the 20 to the 19-yard line, out to the 18-yard line as southeast of Saline for the first time enters the Case IH Red Zone, brought to you by Can-Equip in Solomon.
And this defense for Nemaha Central is going to be something different than what this southeast of Saline team has seen this year. Not a lot of 3-5-3 defenses that you run into, meaning 3 down linemen, 5 backers. So the offensive line has to win up front early and often.
From the 18-yard line. Here's Jacobson. He keeps it again. He has a hole on the right-hand side. Gannon Jacobson is going to run it into the end zone. On the right-hand side, the junior quarterback found a hole, and he is dancing in the end zone. Southeast of Saline, down the field. They draw the first points of the night with 9:48 left to go in the first quarter.
A very good orchestrated drive right there. A mix of runs up the middle and outside runs with Gannon. That one's set up. Grady just ate a hit right up the middle, and the receivers did a great job on the far side of the field opening that hole for Gannon.
Southeast going for 2. Gebhardt leaves the backfield. They fake it to him, a little head and shoulder fake. Now Gannon tries to come out of the right-hand side. Boy, nobody ever picked up Grady on that left-hand side. I think Southeast had a chance there. And as we settle in, Southeast of Saline takes a 6-0 lead. 9:48 left to go here, first quarter. We are underway in the state title game in Hutchinson on KINA.
I'm Ryan Arms, your mortgage loan originator at Equity Bank here in Salina, Kansas. I'm a lifelong Salina resident here to tell you our bank can offer you mortgage and refinance options with terms designed for you. Why leave our community when you can choose the bank that never forgets it's your money? With 2 locations in town on Ohio Street and Santa Fe Avenue, there's no better time to apply online, in person, or over the phone. Learn more at equitybank.com, equal housing lender, member FDIC.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Southeast of Saline goes down the field to open the game. All running plays. As they go 6 plays down the field, they're able to get it in. 9:48 left to go. Gannon Jacobson on the scoring play. An 8-yard touchdown run for Gannon Jacobson. And for him, that is his 9th rushing touchdown of the season. The 2-point conversion failed. Southeast of Saline up 6-0. Southeast ready to kick it off now. Malachi Hopkins on this synthetic surface here in Hutchinson. Here's the little pop-up squib kick. It's going to go to the 30-yard line. It will be taken here by the Thunder of Nemaha Central in a return of about 5, maybe 6 yards that time. Jaden Seitz on the return for Nemaha Central. Let's go over the Trojan defense up front. It's Bryson Lippold along with Drew Weller, Deacon Bear, and Brody Chambers. Your linebackers, Canyon Douglas, the leading tackler on this team, along with Grady Gebhardt, Killian Vaughn, and Amarion Holla. Your corners are Tucker Thaxton, along with Malachi Hopkins, and your safety is Gannon Jacobson. The defensive starters brought to you by the Jeff Wells Agency of American Family Insurance in Salina. Nemaha Central will start out here. They're at their own 36-yard line. They have decent field position, just like Southeast of Saline had. Carter Hike will pitch it out. It's an end around coming back the other way, and Gannon Jacobson is going to snuff it out, and he is going to end that carry for a big Thunder loss. The pitch went to Jaden Seitz, who was the second leading rusher behind Carter Hike, and it's going to be a big loss for the Thunder.
Yeah, great stand on first down right there. A little misdirection. Nemaha comes out with a typical power run by Carter Hike, and he just flips it off to the receiver coming in motion, and Gannon Jacobson read that like a book all over that from his safety position.
It's a loss of 7 on the play. All the way back now, 2nd down and 17 for Nemaha Central. They will go 2 wide receivers on each side. They also have a tight slot wing. The formation looks a lot like southeast of Saline's formations. Hike will check off to the play, 2nd down and 17. He will run it himself. Power run straight up the middle. Here he goes, a convoy of blockers. He nearly broke out of there, but grabbing an ankle on his way by was a southeast of Saline defender. Grabbing the ankle and keeping that to a minimal gain of what it really could have been was safety Gannon Jacobson.
Yeah, just a design quarterback run. Spread you out, run right up the middle, blocked very well by the offensive line up front.
Up to the 47-yard line. It's a gain of 18 for Hike and a 1st down. He got it by a yard. That's his first carry of the night. 1st down now at midfield. Nemaha Central at the 47-yard line. Hike looking over to the side. Again, looks like they have 5 wide receivers, but the one is a glorified fullback as a tight slot wing on the right. Here's Hike again. He wants to run it. Sticks his nose up in there, and he is going to be piled up at the line of scrimmage by a host of southeast of Saline Trojans. It's going to be a tough road to hoe for Carter Hike if he wants to do that all night against this Southeast defense. That time the charge was led by Deacon Bear, but Hike is a stud. Let's not dismiss what he has done so far this year. He has 2,148 yards rushing coming into this game, 38 rushing touchdowns. With that, he also has 1,000 yards passing and 11 touchdowns. He completes 62% of his passes, spreading it around. His leading receiver on this team has 35 catches for 447. Here's Hike again, trying to get away from the Southeast defense. He's going to turn what could have been a negative play into a positive play. He'll come across the 50 and get to the Southeast of Saline 47-yard line.
And I think you touched on it. It's going to be big for those 3 up front, but how big are these linebackers going to be? Killian Vaughn, Amarion Hollum, and Grady Gebhardt have to come in and fill the inside, which in 10, you got to keep Carter Hike in there. Don't let him bounce it out and use that speed to get around the corner.
3rd down and 4. He went from the 47 on one side to the 47 on the other side. 3rd down and 4 here for the Thunder. They go trip wide receivers to the left-hand side. Southeast of Saline giving the appropriate amount of attention to those receivers. Hike now still taking his time, play clock under 5. He's going to run it himself. Comes to the line of scrimmage, and he is stopped at the 45. It's a gain of 2 and brings up 4th down and 2.
He had a big play early here in this first quarter on the first drive by Nemaha Central. You got a 4th and 2 coming up. Anything is wide open right here. Carter Hike can just take that and run it right up the middle again. He can bounce it outside. You've talked about it. He had a 2,000-plus yard rushing season and 1,000 yards throwing.
Opening drive of the game here for Nemaha Central. Southeast of Saline scored on their opening drive. They lead at 6-0. 4th down and 2. 2 wide receivers out to the right-hand side. Nemaha Central showing the look that they're going to go for it. Hike, the lone offensive player in the backfield. He has no running back. There's no secret what they're going to do, and they get the 1st down. Nemaha Central will take it to the 40-yard line, and it's a gain of 5 and a 1st down for the Thunder.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to stop with him and having all those big guys up front, knowing that they're just going to snap it and run it right at you in the A or B gap. We saw in that first play of the game, they tried that trickeration, and that did not work for them. Now they're going back to the more traditional spread you out, run right up the middle.
Nemaha Central again, and they use the receivers mainly for spreading the defense out. They don't want to pass very much, but they will. I'll touch on that thought coming up here a little bit. Here's an option play. Hike's going to keep it as he pulls it out of the belly of the running back, and he is tangled up with Amarion Holla. But Amarion does a really good job hanging on here as he was going to be taken for a ride along with Carter Hike down to the 24-yard line. That's a gain of 16 by the junior quarterback for Nemaha Central.
Good job filling in there on that play or on that triple option almost look. Did a good job collapsing on the outside. You got to stay home and force everything back into the middle of your defense.
1st down and 10 Thunder. They're at the southeast of Saline 24-yard line. Coach Glatzik, the Nemaha Central leader over on the side, hopping up and down, looking at his offense going to work here. There is a tailback. It is Seitz in the backfield along with Carter Hike. 1st down and 10. Again, Nemaha Central taking the clock down here to 5. Hard counts. Nobody jumps for Southeast. They're going to give it to Seitz, and he might have got back to the line of scrimmage. No more for Jaden Seitz.
Good job that time up front, staying down. Obviously, Nemaha Central wanting to use all of the play clock here and try to eliminate the possessions that Southeast is going to have. With that, though, you have to be able to punch it in, and we've seen this Southeast defense in this bend-don't-break mentality where teams can drive all the way down the field, yet they come up empty-handed.
Seitz lost a yard on that play, back to the 25-yard line, now 2nd down and 11. Football sitting at the Southeast 25-yard line. Hike again. Lots of hard counts. Now they're going to snap it. He's going to keep it. Looks like he wants to throw. Chased by Chambers. He's going to unload it out on the edge, and he's going to find one of his slot receivers. It's Jack McKee. And McKee will be out there close to a first down yardage, but he's going to step out of bounds just shy of the sticks. It's a gain of 10 on the first pass for Carter Hike.
Yeah, and a good throw out there to the far side, getting that out to his receiver out in front where he's able to catch it and turn it run. Now you got 3rd and 1. And this is where you see a lot of Carter Hike just snapping it, taking it right up the middle.
McKee wasn't even in the top 6 in receiving for Nemaha Central so far this year. Empty backfield again. Carter Hike, 3rd down and 1. He's going to do what he does best. Chopped at the ankles. He has trouble getting away. Here come the Trojans. Grady Gebhardt's going to finish him off, but down around the ankles, it's Canyon Douglas, the leading tackler on this team, and the 2 linebackers that will stick their face in a fan come up and get a stop, and now they have forced Nemaha Central into a 4th and 4.
Big play right there. Big play by this Trojan defense. Good push up front. We've seen Nemaha on the last 4th down they had, 4th and 2, and they were able to get 6 yards that time, filling the holes well, getting up and stopping Carter Hike.
Nemaha Central does have a kicker. They have Levi Thomas, who's 3 of 5. His long field goal this year is 46 yards. They opt to not do that right here. 4th down and 4. Here comes a man in motion. Hike takes the snap. He will keep it himself. Now it's a pass at the last minute, and it's going to be a touchdown. That's the element of surprise. When I told you a bit ago I will finish that thought about their passing game, it is that. It is the element of surprise, and Carter Hike jumps up on a jump pass, and he's able to hit Mackey, the junior, Jack Mackey, down the left-hand sideline in the seam, and it's going to be a touchdown here for the Thunder from 25 yards out.
Yeah, just caught the linebacker and the safety right there sleeping a little bit. Does that 1-2 step, little jump pass, throw it up. Now they're on for the extra point attempt.
Extra point could be the difference in this game, one way or the other. The extra point here by Levi Thomas is up and good. He's made 39 extra points on the season, and that has given Nemaha Central the lead. Each team has had a possession 7-6. Nemaha Central with 3:32 left to go here in the first quarter from the Equity Bank broadcast booth in Hutchinson. Trojan football is brought to you by the Bennington State Bank.
The Southeast of Saline School District has a long-standing reputation for excellence. This excellence in public education has been a source of great pride and one of the factors contributing to the quality of life in our community. The Southeast of Saline Education Foundation works in partnership with the USD 306 School District and the community that it serves to maximize student potential, thereby creating a lasting legacy, not only for our children, but for our community. The Southeast of Saline Education Foundation salutes the Trojan sports program.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Back here in Hutchinson, Southeast of Saline football, brought to you by Sage Selects. Whether at home or on the road, you appreciate the quality and the placement of Sage products. We have them at home at Southeast of Saline, and when we're on the road, we sure miss them. Sage products, you can get them for your home or office at sageselects.com. Here's Southeast of Saline on the ensuing kick. Canyon Douglas splits a tackle. Now he's dancing down the right-hand sideline. He will turn on the accelerator, and he will get across the 50, inside the 35, and tackled down there. Canyon Douglas had a seam, and the blocking was set up very, very well.
Yeah, good job of Marion Hollip, James Friesen as well over there, clearing the hole for Canyon Douglas to get big yardage up there. Now Southeast is going to start well into Nemaha Central territory.
Good field position again here for Southeast of Saline to open their second drive. Tucker Thaxton goes to the left-hand side. They will line up. Grady Gebhardt directly behind quarterback Gannon Jacobson. Douglas will go in motion. They'll give it to Gebhardt. He's in the open space, and there's a flag on the play from the back judge on the defensive side of the ball. Gebhardt got an 8-yard carry, but we'll have to check the flag and see where that's coming in.
Moving. Offense. 10 yards. Previous spot. Replay first down.
Holding on Southeast of Saline is the call. So that will back them up 10 yards here. And put them back, Southeast of Saline's offense, back to the 44-yard line.
Like what I've seen so far on these running up the middles. You saw last week against Beloit, there was nothing there. Like, Grady was shut down last week. This week, different story.
3-man front, a different front than what Beloit has, right? Clustered up on the right-hand side. Jacobson checks left. Now he comes back to the right. He puts it over the top of Canyon Douglas, who went up, tried to reel it in, but he could not. That ball goes through the hands of Canyon Douglas, and it falls incomplete in the secondary of Nemaha Central. That'll bring up second down and 20. Southeast of Saline setting at the Thunder 44-yard line.
Yeah, not something Canyon's going to come back to the huddle, and don't leave one up in the middle of the field like that where I have to elevate in this defense again.
Heavy now on the left-hand side. It's the long side of the field for Southeast of Saline. They go back to the running game, and Gebhardt is hit immediately and dropped there. Grady will lose a yard on that play as into the backfield that time the Thunder came rolling in.
Yeah, Carter Hike read that one extremely well, came blitzing on the offside, and from the offside of where the play was going and didn't fall for the play fake and just went ahead and finished it off. Now another 3rd and 21 right here for Southeast.
Puts Southeast of Saline's offense in a difficult position here at the 45-yard line where it's 3rd down and 21. Here's the fake, end around to Douglas. Jacobson now spins around, turns his back on the receivers. Now he rolls out to the right. Ball sitting, waist high. Now he spins around and again, and he's going to pass it down the sideline, and it's going to be incomplete. Of course, the coach is on the other side wanting a grounding, but the ball came back across the line of scrimmage, and in the area, Caden Berrigan was camped out.
Yeah, I think if Gannon doesn't take that last bit of spin and come further outside the numbers, he had Tucker Thaxton and had cleared the center of the field and had his guys beat far in the middle, down deep into the end zone.
Jacobson lined up here. This might be a quick kick position, though, for Southeast of Saline's defense. They have 3 wide receivers off the left-hand side, and now Jacobson's going to retreat a little bit here, and he'll quick kick it. Nemaha Central recognizes it. They're going to retreat, and the snap over the head of Jacobson. Gannon still has it. He's going to turn around, keep his composure, and punt this football to the 25-yard line. Nemaha Central receives it there, and they will get no return on the play. Nemaha Central returned it back to where they got it from, and there is no return on that play. What a great recovery effort there by Gannon Jacobson.
Yeah, saved that play wholly, and luckily for that, when you line up in that quick kick formation, Nemaha Central doesn't have time to put their punt block or punt return unit on, so they still had those 3 down linemen. So Gannon did a good job of corralling that, getting the ball and getting off a good punt. More importantly, coverage was down to keep them.
So Nemaha Central will take over here, 1st down and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Remember, that's a drive. Southeast of Saline started out at the 35, and they went backwards because of that 1st down holding penalty. Here's Carter Hike right up the center. He's going to run into Killian Vaughn, who will make the tackle. Also in there, Bryson Lippold. And Bryson Lippold, another one of these guys on defense, you look at his numbers, and they quietly sneak up on you. He is tied for 2nd for tackles on this team. There are 3 guys with 66 tackles coming into this game. Lippold is one of them, along with Grady Gebhardt and Brody Chambers.
And Lippold's going to have to be huge, along with Killian Vaughn on those outsides, trying to funnel Carter Hike back into the middle of the field.
46 yards on 7 carries so far for Carter Hike. He also has a passing touchdown, and this time they moved up front. That will cost the Thunder 5 yards.
Prior to snap, ball start, offense, 5 yards, replay 2nd down.
So 5-yard penalty there. The replay on 2nd down will look like a 2nd and 13 back to the 22-yard line for Nemaha Central. Thunder all ready to go here. They're going to snap it. Couple of receivers on the left. They're going to try to slip the screen, and Brody Chambers says, I don't think so. You're in my neighborhood right now, and Brody Chambers takes down the receiver, and it's going to be gain of 1 yard on that pass play by the Thunder. Well played by Brody Chambers.
I think Brody's got it figured out that they're not going to leave him unblocked, and if they touch him and then just keep running down the field, I'm just going to wait right here for somebody to catch the ball. And he is an extremely smart defensive lineman, understanding his situation and knowing his job and what he has to do.
3rd down and long, 3rd and 12. See if Southeast can take advantage of this defensive opportunity here. 4 wide receivers again for the Thunder. They do have a running back. They did away with the power slot. Now they're going to move the running back at sights over to the left hip of Hike. Carter Hike back to throw. Looking at the slant. He's going to throw it over the middle of the field. It's going to be almost picked off. Gannon Jacobson looking at maybe his 3rd interception of the season. Played it over the shoulder and was unable to reel it in. What a play by Jacobson on an overthrown ball there by Carter Hike.
Yeah, Carter Hike was looking for Caleb Strothman right there stringing down the middle of the field, and Gannon playing in that safety pickoff position. Would have been a tough over-the-shoulder catch, just only able to make it, but that brings up 4th down.
Nonetheless, Jacobson now will be back as a single return man for Southeast of Saline in about the spot that the interception could have happened. We'll see what Southeast can do here on the return opportunity. Low snap. Nemaha Central will get it away. It's a wobbly punt that won't even make it to midfield. It does take a thunder bounce, though, and will roll across midfield on a gratuitous bounce for the Seneca folks, and it will come all the way down to a 45-yard line where Southeast of Saline gets a stop on defense, and now they will take over once again in the midfield area. Southeast of Saline's Booster Club helps bring you live coverage of Southeast of Saline athletics and activities. To flex that purple power, it is always a great day to be a Trojan.
What a stop right there, and what a stand for your defense when you needed it. Your offense, great field position on a kickoff return, unable to do anything with it. Your defense gets you the ball right back.
Southeast of Saline back out there for their third drive of the game. Pitch out right-hand side, Gebhardt. Grady finds a crease, gets through the arm tackle originally by Carter Hike, and then collides with a linebacker into that second level. That linebacker looked like maybe it was Daniel Childress that time for Nemaha Central, one of the defensive linemen. This alignment for defensively is a base 3-5-3. It comes from the genius mind of defensive coordinator Mark Mayberry, who coached for years in Chapman. He has since been at Nemaha Central. He's been there for all three titles here in the last few years. Here's Gebhardt into the second level, flirting with the first down. He's going to be a yard short.
Impressive up front so far by this offensive line from Southeast of Saline, able to kind of dominate up front right now early and often to allow Grady to get up the field. And Grady, minimal yardage last week running. The bulk of his yards, really 90% of them, that'll be the end of the first quarter.
That is the end of the first quarter as we are off and running here in Hutchinson. 7-6, Nemaha Central leads Southeast of Saline from the Equity Bank broadcast booth. This is Trojan Football, and it's presented by Salina Regional Sports Medicine.
Are you ready to make a meaningful impact? Join our professional healthcare team at Salina Regional Health Center. We're seeking dedicated individuals who are eager to provide exceptional care to our community. Our growing organization offers competitive pay, comprehensive benefits, and opportunities for growth. We are committed to supporting you in your career. If you're ready to join a team that values compassion, teamwork, and outstanding patient care, apply now at srhc.com or reach out to me, Tess Madro, in Human Resources. Great careers start here. Salina Regional Health Center, we take care of you so you can care for others.
The Trojans are experts in precision passes, and Everhart Precision Ag are your experts in grid soil sampling. Everhart Precision Ag does all the sampling and data analysis in-house, keeping it local and close to the farm. They're also your local channel seedsman, selling all seeds with an emphasis in corn and soybeans. Trust Matt Everhart and Lane Hensley at Everhart Precision Ag, serving Saline, Dickinson, McPherson, and Ottawa counties, and also supporting Southeast of Saline Trojans. For more information, visit everhartprecision.com.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Back here on a third down, Gannon Jacobs keeps it off the left-hand side. Gets a first down. The Southeast of Saline keeps that drive alive to the 41. It's a 5-yard gain by Gannon Jacobson. Southeast again running it. Jacobson will stick his head in there again and get a gain of 2 on the play.
And Gannon in that first quarter just had 2 rushes for 41 yards. Grady Gebhardt, 7 carries, 30 yards in the first quarter.
Back ready to go here. 2nd down and 10. 3 wide receivers make it 4 on the right-hand side. Jacobson will roll that way. Has some space to run in front of him. Also has a linebacker spine. Jacobson will let it go, and it ends up going out of bounds inside of the 5-yard line. Carter Hike back there in coverage. Jacobson was looking for Caden Berrigan, and that ball sailed out of bounds.
Man, you would like to see Gannon turn that and look one more step right back in the middle as he had – I'm not sure if it was Malachi Hopkins or Tucker Thaxton was rolling with the coverage as it went out, and then they just stopped at the hash mark, and everybody just dissipated from him, standing wide open in the middle of the field. I think Gannon would like to have that one back.
Brings up a 3rd down and 9 for Southeast of Saline. So far, the Trojans 0 for 3 in the passing game. 3rd down and 9 from the 40. Loaded up on the right-hand side. Looking to the weak side of the field on the left-hand side. Jacobson pump fakes. Now he steps into one. Lets it go to the middle of the field. It's going to be caught. There's Tucker Thaxton. Thaxton stumbling his way inside of the 30-yard line. He's going to go down at the 25. And the first completion of the game goes for a first down. Jacobson to Thaxton.
And I'm not sure. That might be the hardest thrown ball I've seen from Gannon Jacobson. That thing was a heater coming out of the pocket, and it had to get there quick as coverage was bearing down.
15 yards to the 25-yard line. Here's the handoff now to Gebhardt as Southeast of Saline mashing the accelerator through the floorboard as they're ready to go on just about every play. Gebhardt will get a gain of 2 here on the ground.
Yeah, that time Nemaha Central just kind of collapsed on the inside with that formation. They just had 8 guys come right at the line of scrimmage. So if you're Southeast Saline here, got a lot to work with. That middle of the field appears to be open in the pass game.
To the 23, Gebhardt went. Second down and 8. Again, loading up the right-hand side. 3 wide receivers over there. Gebhardt still in the backfield. They'll roll that way. Gebhardt on a lead block. Jacobson taps the break, gets through the hole, spins his way inside of the 15, and taken down at the 14-yard line. It's a gain of 9 for Southeast of Saline and a first down as they punch their ticket once again to the Case IH Red Zone, brought to you by Caniquip in Solomon.
And what a great play call right there. They had a blitz. Nemaha Central had a blitz on the left side, sent 3 guys chasing after Gannon Jacobson, which allowed one-on-one on the far side of the field.
5 carries, 69 yards for Jacobson. First down and 10 in the red zone. Pistol formation, Gebhardt directly behind the junior quarterback. It's play action. Jacobson rolling out to the left. Looking. Now he wants to run inside of the 10 and ran out of bounds at the 5. Thrown down late, out of bounds over here. Jacobson's going to get up and just walk it back, but a groan from the crowd on that late finish of the tackle out of bounds. They're going to spot him at the 5.
Yeah, so now second down and 1. You can get a first down here. You don't have to score on these plays right now, but I like maybe had a potential to find Tucker Thaxton right in the middle of the end zone, but knowing better, just tucks it, gets a gain of.
Second 1 at the 5. Evan Watkins goes in motion. Jacobson, we'll watch him set up as an elite blocker. They'll go to Gebhardt. Nope, Jacobson keeps it. Jacobson has the first down, and he's going to push this football all the way down to the 2-yard line. Another gain of 3 as Gannon Jacobson starts to flex his muscle. He's not the only quarterback that can run. As Carter Hike, you have Gannon Jacobson as well.
Yeah, Gannon Jacobson has 5 guys up front that are willing to go to bat for him right now. The running game was non-existent last week against Beloit. It was all through the air. And right now, these 5 guys took that personal up front and are winning the battle.
First down and goal from the 2. Southeast of Saline, 3 wide receivers way out wide to the right. They sneak it in the belly of Gebhardt, and he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll fall forward for about a half a yard, but that is it on that carry from Grady Gebhardt. Second and goal coming up.
Yeah, I like the play call right there. Just hand it off, try to get one up the middle. It's first down. You got 3 more plays here to punch this thing in the end zone from 2 yards, and they haven't shown yet that they have been able to stop the run game.
56 for Nemaha Central's Abram Kime. Want to keep an eye on him if you can and an ear on him because he is leading this Nemaha Central team. Came into this game with 155 tackles that he has been credited for. That's an insane amount of work.
Yeah, that's just an immense amount of work on the defensive side.
Second down and goal. Jacobson wants to run out, finds a crease, hits the break. He tries to stick his nose in there, and he's going to make it to the 1, but no more. A yard on the play for Gannon Jacobson, and that'll bring up third down and goal from the 1-yard line.
Yeah, wanted a little quick hit on the outside right there, and Gannon did a good job. Nemaha Central had it covered real well with those 3 receivers on the far side. Now you got third down and 1 yard to go.
8:05 left to go here in the second quarter. It's the 2A state championship game in Hutchinson. Caden Berrigan stays tight on the right, 2 receivers on the left. It's Hopkins and Thaxton. Evan Watkins tight slot to the left. Here's Jacobson, jump pass, and it's off the fingertips of Tucker Thaxton here at the goal line. It was the right call. Thaxton had it, but boy, he had to bring it in. And this is the coldest game that Southeast has played in this year. It's the first time that we've played a game under 40 as we were at 39 degrees at kickoff. And, boy, you just wonder, sometimes when it's cold like that, the fingers don't work like they usually do, but that pass was always also a little bit low.
Yeah, Gannon took a lot off of that and just tried to lob it up in there, and it just hung up in the air forever and felt close to the feet. A catch we've seen Thaxton make looks like Mitch Gebhardt's going to take a timeout.
Coach G finding the levity of this situation, he's going to burn a timeout. We will keep it right here, and we will remind you that Messenger Total Promotions is the official outfitters of all the Eagle Communication broadcast crews, whether it's on KINA or more on Salina Post Sports. We go to Messenger Total Promotions in downtown Salina. They keep us feeling right. With logoed apparel, you can go there too. They have all kinds of Southeast of Saline gear, or maybe if you're headed to a Bennington game, a Minneapolis game, a Sacred Heart game, a Kansas Wesleyan game, they have the apparel for you. You can get car license plate tags there and all kinds of stuff at Messenger Total Promotions there in downtown Salina. Also want to thank the second quarter sponsor tonight at Salina Septic Service, and it's a little ironic that we're in Hutchinson, which is the second site for Salina Septic Service. Cole and Callie Leister, they have big things that they are working on. I keep telling you about this. I want to tell you so much more, but, man, the customer experience at Salina and Hutchinson Septic Service is going to be drastically improved. They're going to go from like a 10 to a 20 here at the start of the new year, and they cannot wait to tell you about it. I want to thank Cole and Callie Leister at Salina and Hutchinson Septic Service for sponsoring the second quarter and Trojan Sports all season long.
I think Gannon wants that. He would want that play back when he sees it on film. He could have done about anything but what he did to get that ball to Thaxton. Now, big 4th and 1 right here.
4th and goal at the 1-yard line. There are no wide receivers. There are a couple slot backs. Pass out, pitch to Gebhardt. Grady will not be denied. A big collision as Double G gets in the end zone, but he has already scored, and Grady Gebhardt punches it in for Southeast of Saline, gives the Trojans the lead back on his 15th touchdown rushing of the season.
And what a play call. Nemaha Central just stacks the box, and Gannon just flips it out to Grady, and that Grady was running with a purpose right there. He was not going to be denied. Met at the goal line, ran him over.
Another crucial 2-point conversion after touchdown here. Jacobson looking in the end zone. He has to flush out. He's in trouble. Has to turn around. Carter Hike took it from him, and that will be the end of the 2-point conversion attempt. Southeast of Saline gets another touchdown with 7:41 left to go in the second quarter. Trojans back on top, 12-7 here on KINA.
At Vernon Jewelers, we are celebrating 140 years of our family serving yours, serving you with the best in prices, quality, and the service to back it up. You can trust us for your unique custom pieces and any repair you may need. And just because we've been around for 140 years doesn't mean we are old and out of touch. It just means we're really good at what we do. Now is the time for the holiday. Come see us in downtown Salina and look for the iconic Vernon Jewelers sign on Santa Fe, here for you since 1884.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline football.
Welcome back here, Southeast of Saline Trojan football from the state championship matchup here with the Nemaha Central Thunder. It's brought to you by our friends at the Bennington State Bank. They're your local hometown bank. Of course, they're a member of FDIC, and you want to stop by the Bennington State Bank and just see what kind of services they have to offer. Maybe they're better than the bank you have right now. They'll be more than happy to tell you about it. It's the Bennington State Bank. 12-7. Our score, Southeast of Saline leading here. Devin Haney, Russ Kossel in the Equity Bank broadcast booth. So we are ready to kick it off once again. Malachi Hopkins will leave this one short. It's going to be a pitch back here for Nemaha Central as they get it in the hands of Carter Hike. Look out. Hike is a load on the kick return, but he's going to be stacked up. One of the first people there, Ian Nicholson for Southeast of Saline, and then the posse arrived as Southeast of Saline's able to take him down. And again, good starting position here. Both these teams experiencing good field position as they start out. Nemaha Central will start with this football here at about the 38-yard line is where they're going to put it down for the Thunder to start their second possession of the day.
Third possession.
Third, yes.
Stopped them on that last one. They're going to need another big stand right here.
2-by-2 they go. No running back for Carter Hike. He's going to keep it straight up the gut. He'll get into the linebacker level, but he's trying to drag Brody Chambers with him. Brody makes a pretty good trailer if he has the brakes locked up, and that will be a stop there. Brody Chambers tackling Hike from behind after a gain of 5.
Yeah, bring up 2nd down and 5 right here, and if you're the Southeast team, you got to – they're going to want to run up the middle, but you talked about it. You got to keep contained on the outside if Carter Hike wants to stretch this thing out.
43-yard line, 2nd down and 5. The running back in the backfield, Seitz, will leave now for Nemaha Central. Hike on the keeper, tries the right, has some space, and he is going to be tackled from behind by Grady Gebhardt. Also in there, Killian Vaughn. He came in to make some contact. Hike will have the first down, just a short, as that football, about a football's length away from the 50-yard line.
Yeah, just under 7 minutes to go here in the first half, and you always got to look around the corner, right? Nemaha Central is going to get the ball to start the second half, so this is a big defensive possession right here for Southeast.
First down for the white-clad Thunder. White kit from head to toe. 2 receivers on the right, one of them will leave. Hike takes the football. He wants to run again. Getting penetration is Southeast of Saline. Killian Vaughn was the first one there. Then Drew Weller came in and finished him off. Killian Vaughn that time just blitzing in there with that cast on his left hand, able to make the stop, and it's a loss of 1 for Nemaha Central.
And I don't want to take anything away from Killian Vaughn on that great move, but Drew Weller, the epitome right there of coming off of your block. He was stood up, just one swipe down, got off the block, and was able to help Killian bring him down for a loss of 1 yard.
That'll push the Thunder back to the 48-yard line after a loss of 1. Second down and 11. Now they go 3 wide receivers to the left-hand side. Seitz is still in the backfield. They're going to pitch it out to Seitz. He's looking for some space. Here's Canyon Douglas getting pushed out of the play, but then a tackle by Grady Gebhardt. Gebhardt runs so well. You see, obviously he has speed as a running back, but his sideline-to-sideline pursuit as a linebacker is second to none.
And I think it pairs well with the vision he has in his peripherals and seeing left to right. Not only sprinting left to right, but north and south, and then seeing everything. He saw that play developed, waited. As soon as the ball was pitched out, he just took off. Big third down right here.
3rd and 9, ball sitting on the 50. 5:12 left to play here in the second quarter. 3 wide receivers to the right-hand side. Hike rolls out that way. Ball ready to go. Now he's going to stop at the last minute and jump pass again. It's going to go off the turf for his intended receiver, incomplete, and a 4th down coming up for Nemaha Central. The intended receiver on that play was Caleb Heenick, another sophomore. This Nemaha Central team is loaded with underclassmen.
Yeah, both of these teams, we've talked about how young the Southeast team is, but this Nemaha team, I think, is loaded more with underclassmen than what Southeast is.
They have 4 seniors total on their roster.
Yeah, and one of them's injured and hasn't played all year.
So, in punt formation goes Nemaha Central. Again, 1 man back for Southeast of Saline. As this punt, again, not going to be a good one, but it's going to get a good bounce once again and put Southeast of Saline inside the 30-yard line. Tucker Thaxton never has a shot at it, but his offense will have another shot as they come out onto the field. 4:58 left to go here in the second quarter. That's brought to you by Salina Septic Service with offices in Salina and Hutchinson. Salina Septic Service and Hutchinson Septic Service. Make sure you call them when you need them.
And defense, once again, does its job, gets off the field, turns the ball over back to Gannon and this offense. See what kind of drive they can put together here with 4:58 and 2 timeouts.
First down and 10 from their own 28-yard line. A receiver solo to the left. Here's the give. Coming around, Canyon Douglas has it. Has the ball in his right hand, crossing the 30, crossing the 35, carrying Thunder players across the 40 to the 42-yard line. What a run by Canyon Douglas.
Yeah, what a run, what a play call, but it doesn't work, right, if you don't have blockers. And that time, everybody held their blocks. Grady was able to get out there with them, free him up. Canyon hits the hole and drags the Thunder player about 3 yards to get first down.
Again, I just keep hearkening back to last year. What would have this team done with Canyon Douglas? Remember, he got hurt first couple of games of the season. Back to Gebhardt, into the linebacker levels. Tries to spin off a Thunder defender around his ankles. Hanging on that time was Abram Kime, but Grady Gebhardt still gets positive yardage as he surges out to the 48-yard line on a gain of 6.
Yeah, that play had developed and it parted, and I thought right there, Grady, if he can break that shoestring tackle of Kime, it's a foot race down the middle of the field.
Clock down to 4:23 left to go here, second quarter. Second down and 4. 2 receivers to the left. Now, Evan Watkins will go in motion. He'll set up behind the offensive line. Here's Jacobson. He'll go back to Gebhardt. Gebhardt has space. Gebhardt into the second level. Gebhardt still running. Gebhardt dragging Thunder down to the 22-yard line. Grady Gebhardt just broke off a run of 26 yards.
Yeah, carried Carter Hike that last 4 or 5 yards right there. Carter Hike trying to rake the ball out. Grady 2 arms over it, tucked it high and tight, and just carried Hike down the field. What a gain and what a run. But I'm so impressed with the turnaround from last week to this week of this offensive line.
Southeast of Saline pretty much abandoned the rushing game last week, but their passing numbers were insane. First down here for the Trojans at the 22-yard line. Nemaha Central crowding the line of scrimmage now. They go back to Gebhardt on the rushing game, and Grady will spin his way down inside the red zone. It's the Case IH red zone, and it's brought to you by Can-Equip in Solomon, down to the 19-yard line after a gain of 3.
Yeah, good run right there. He wanted to bounce that a little bit, just tucked it and got the yards he could and got 3 yards on first down. More importantly, not playing behind the sticks.
Second down. After a gain of 3, it's 2nd and 7. Jacobson wants to throw. Quick little hitch route. Thaxton steps out of bounds at the 10. Tucker Thaxton hands out in front, grab that football to gain a 9, and another first down for Southeast of Saline on their second complete pass of the game.
And that ball came out of Gannon's hand before Tucker even broke out of his break. Tucker hit his right foot in the ground, turned, hands already in the air, bang, bang, ball's right there, gets feet in bounce, 1st and goal.
Their chemistry is insane. I'm glad you said that. Inside 3 minutes left to go. Second quarter, back to the pistol formation. Jacobson gives it to Gebhardt. Grady off the left-hand side. He'll be tackled after a gain of 4 as he makes it down to the 6-yard line.
Yeah, and that play was sprung open right there by Evan Watkins coming in motion. Picked up the blitzer on the corner, allowing Grady to not get hit at the line of scrimmage. And then you turn around and look, and Brody Chambers has got his guy buried back at the 10-yard line.
It is a goal-to-go situation here for Southeast of Saline. 2nd down from the 6, and it's 2nd and goal. Here comes Canyon Douglas in motion. They give it to him. Douglas goes way out wide and then surges back in. He'll crash down inside the 5 and get to the 4. It's a gain of 2.
Play designed, obviously, to go outside the numbers and try to get Canyon to turn the corner, recognizing that his blockers out there, in particular, Caden Berrigan, had his guys pushed out to the far side on the outside, so he cuts that one back up and gets the yards he can.
3rd down and goal from the 4. Southeast of Saline trying to put another score up here as they are getting tight on the right-hand side. Douglas and Thaxton out wide to the left. Here's Jacobson. Throwback to the right. They ran this against Clay Center. They scored on Clay Center, and they're going to score again. Grady Gebhardt got the throwback from Gannon Jacobson, and Southeast of Saline's going to score from 4 yards away.
I don't know about you or anybody listening at home that has listened to us for a long time. You throw the ball out there to whoever it is, and you see number 75 leading the way. I'm going to take that 10 out of 10 times. Brody Chambers just clears it out.
1:42 left to go. Now going for 2 is Southeast of Saline. They're 0 for 2 so far. Here's the sneak up front by Gebhardt. Now into Tucker Thaxton. He's going to skip and hop and get his way into the end zone. A 2-point conversion by Southeast of Saline, and the Trojans have extended their lead now 20-7 with 1:42 left to go here in the second quarter. Southeast of Saline on the board again as we take a break from the Equity Bank broadcast booth in Hutchinson. Trojan football is brought to you by Salina Regional Sports Medicine.
In the trenches and on the ground, that's where the game is won. Isaacson Truck Line is a proud supporter of the Southeast of Saline Trojans. For local and long-haul service of freight and livestock, call Isaacson Truck Line, reminding you to have a safe Friday night on the roads. Wreak havoc, Trojans.
The Appliance Center is where you go to shop for washers, dryers, kitchen appliances, furniture, pellet grills, TVs, and so much more. If you are looking for a local, family-owned business, visit the Appliance Center. We're in the big red and white building on South Broadway in Salina. Come experience the Appliance Center difference.
You're listening to Trojan Football.
Back here in the Equity Bank broadcast booth, Devin Haney. Russ Kossel has made his way down to the Salina Ortho sidelines to get comments from Mitch Gebhardt as he heads into the locker room at halftime. Right now, Southeast of Saline leading 20-7. Malachi Hopkins ready to kick it away as he has his hand in the air. And he will put this one again kind of in the soft spot here of the return team for Nemaha Central. And it will give them good field position at the 40. But I think we have a penalty here on the kicking team for Southeast of Saline. And they're going to say offsides. I don't know that Nemaha Central will accept this, though, after they have very good field position here. They're set to start out the 40-yard line, but they are going to re-kick it. So that'll put the kicking team for Southeast of Saline and Hopkins back here now at the 35-yard line. So we'll have to keep an eye on that there, Russ.
Yeah, they blew the play dead, so they can't decline the penalty right there.
Okay. So they'll try it again here. Hopkins will step it off. He'll get a run starting back at his own 25-yard line. This time he's going to angle it over to the right-hand side again. It's going to be loose. Nemaha Central lost the football, and they're going to just get control of it before it goes out of bounds at the 29-yard line. No. There's a problem over there on the return team, and obviously Nemaha Central has showed something Southeast on film.
No, Devin, what happened was the up man called for a fair catch and let it go. So as soon as the return man picks it up, it's dead right there. They have no chance to return it.
Okay, thank you. 20-7 is our score. 1:40 left to go. Each team both have 3 timeouts remaining as we're in the last minute and a half-ish of the half here in Hutchinson. Nemaha Central will start out here at their own 29-yard line. Carter Hike and company, they go 4 wide receivers. Hike dropped back like he wanted to pass. Now he's going to take off and run. He will twist and turn his way across the 35 and be brought down at about the 37-yard line. It's a gain of 8 on first down for Carter Hike, and that clock continues to roll.
Yeah, and the play fake right there kind of bit them a little bit as they kind of checked up and then came up, and Carter was able to get past the first level.
Second down and a couple here for Nemaha Central. Again, they go with no running back. 4 wide receivers. Here's Hike again. Back to pass. Clean pocket. Now he's going to escape. Deacon Bear comes up to him. Again, another jump pass, and this is going to be caught and taken across the 50-yard line inside of the 45. A gang of Trojans there to tackle Caleb Strothman. And Strothman's going to be whistled dead. The play at the 43-yard line.
I think right here, Gannon maybe got a little aggressive, and I think they're going to get a 15-yard penalty. We'll hear what the White Hat has to say.
It's a 20-yard play before the flag. We'll see what the flag is here.
At the end of the play, personal foul. Offense, 15 yards.
So personal foul on the offense. And that will hurt Nemaha Central's chances here with a minute left. So it's after the play. The 20-yard pass will stand, but then Nemaha Central is going to have to put it in reverse, and they're going to back up here, back on the other side of the 50. Nemaha Central will have it at their own 42-yard line.
Yeah, and I guess I totally missed on that, and I must have saw the second guy come through defending. But
which is usually the one that gets caught, right?
From the 42.
I mean, that's usually how it is. This is the second guy coming in.
Yeah, and the clock should start here on the whistle.
Minute left here again. Nemaha Central and Southeast of Saline. Actually, Southeast has 2 timeouts remaining. They took one before that 4th down conversion that they got a touchdown on. Nemaha Central out of the huddle. Clock is running now. Inside a minute left to go. 52 seconds. Empty backfield for Carter Hike. He wants to take off. He wants to run, and he's going to be tackled, hit hard by Brody Chambers. Carter Hike will get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe credit him with a half a yard, but that is no more than that, as Brody Chambers came off his block, and Big Brody was just waiting on Carter Hike. What a play by Brody Chambers, and a timeout taken here by Southeast of Saline. So we'll step away. We'll talk about it. Here's a 30-second timeout. Back with more Trojan football after this on KINA.
Assyria Oil and Hardware encourages you to celebrate your freedoms and the best country on the planet. Stop in and check out the largest ammo supply in southern Saline County. Stock up now and be ready for next season. With 24/7 pumps, no matter what time of day or night, your gas and diesel tanks can rely on us. During regular business hours, you can get your favorite pizza and snacks to have enough energy to win the day. Assyria Oil and Hardware, located in Assyria at the corner of Center and Main. We'll fill you up.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Back here, working our way towards halftime. 43 seconds left to go. Devin Haney, also Russ Kossel down on the Salina Ortho sidelines. That timeout was credited to Nemaha Central, actually, to stop the clock. Second down here as they have it at their own 42-yard line. Second down and 10 for Nemaha Central. Empty backfield. Total of 5 wide receivers. A lot of movement up front on both sides. No flag's going to fly, though. Carter Hike looking for some room, looking for anybody to spring open. Now he's going to take off and run. He's going to work it across the 50. He's hit hard there by Canyon Douglas as well as Tucker Thaxton. Hike will have a first down and advance this football to the Southeast of Saline 46.
I think Nemaha is going to go ahead and use a second timeout right here.
Okay, we'll keep it right here. Chance for us to remind you that the Southeast of Saline Booster Club helps bring you live coverage of Trojan athletics. They made it a habit lately of bringing you coverage from state tournaments, regardless of what that sport is. It's always a great day to be a Trojan. Keep it here at halftime. Of course, we'll have stats for you, brought to you by the Bank of Tesket. We'll have Mitch Gebhardt as he goes into the locker room at halftime. On the field, we will also have a little bit of a highlight montage to kind of go back and reflect on some key moments of Southeast of Saline's march to the state tournament. Tyler Henry was able to put that together this week, so we'll have that coming up a couple of minutes at halftime that we can reflect back and listen to some highlights of what a great football season Southeast of Saline has had once again. That's all coming up at the halftime report, brought to you by Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories. Out of the timeout here, Nemaha Central has 1 remaining. And they have a first down out at the 46. That last gain went for 12 yards for Carter Hike. He is now sitting on 13 carries, 76 yards. Empty backfield once again. He'll roll out to the left-hand side, pop up, pass it, and it's going to be complete to Strothman. Strothman's going to step out of bounds after getting a first down at about the 33-yard line. That's going to go, so a 13-yard pitch and catch there, Hike to Strothman.
And this is going to be a big stand right here for this defense, right? Nemaha Central is going to get the ball to start the second half. So if you can keep them out of the end zone here and take a 2-score lead into the locker room, that goes a long way.
33-yard line is the spot for Nemaha Central. Clock down to 26 seconds. Hike wanting to negotiate some space, but there's none to negotiate. Thank you to Deacon Bear. Also Drew Weller getting up from the bottom also. It looks like Grady Gebhardt. And now a timeout taken here. That will be issued, and we will keep it right here. Nemaha Central will call this one. This is their last timeout that they have remaining here in this first half of play. 20 seconds remaining. Second down and 10 for Nemaha Central. Ball sitting at the 33-yard line. Again, if you missed it earlier today, we already have a state champion to crown out of the 9 state title games going on this weekend in the state of Kansas. Gardner Edgerton was able to come from behind and beat Manhattan 36-33. Manhattan jumped out. They got an early lead in that game in the first quarter, and then Gardner Edgerton came back and made it a contest, and they were able to win it 36-33 over the Manhattan Indians. So congratulations to both of those schools in Class 6A. 20 seconds remaining here in the first half. Southeast of Saline leads it 20-7. Nemaha Central has the football at the 33-yard line in Southeast of Saline territory. Nemaha Central out of timeouts. Keep in mind, though, in high school, incomplete pass will stop the clock. So will a first down until they set the chains. Carter Hike back to pass. Gets bumped by Brody Chambers. Now he has open field on the left-hand side. He's going to try to put a move here on Kenyon Douglas, and Kenyon Douglas will take him down at the first down sticks. Looks like Hike will be a little bit short here.
Well, there's a flag on the play. I think they're going to get a horse collar tackle over there on the far side of the field.
To go for a 9-yard carry for Carter Hike, his 14th carry of the game, and then the flag may add on to this.
Defense, half the distance, first down.
So personal foul there on the defense for Southeast of Saline will give them half the distance to the goal. And that'll be down, probably be about the 12-yard line. That looks like what's the new line of scrimmage now.
And if you can somehow keep this play in bounds and let the clock expire here with just 10 seconds left to go, maybe one shot here for Nemaha.
Keep in mind, Thunder out of timeouts. It is not a goal-to-go situation. It's first down and 10 from the 12. Here's Hike, looking right-hand side where those receivers are loaded up. Now he's rolling out. He wants to tuck it. He's going to go and fling it back to the left, out of bounds. And that is going to be stopping the clock with 3 seconds left. They may opt for a field goal attempt here. They will. They're going to go over to the bench here and bring in their kicker. And as I said at the onset of this game, on Nemaha Central's first drive, they have a capability. 3 of 5 on field goals is Levi Thomas this year. His long is 46 yards. He is also 39 of 48 from extra point land. So while not automatic, not something you see very often, especially in Class 2A football.
Offense still on the field.
As I go through all that, Thomas vacates the field, and they keep the offense.
12 guys just broke the huddle.
Yep, key play here, and they're going to have to pay the price with a penalty. There's a penalty flag.
Illegal substitution. Offense, 5 yards, third down.
You also hear not only our lead official, but the Southeast of Saline crowd in the background as they are going to walk this off now back to the 17-yard line. So it cost them 5 yards back to the 17 as we're looking at the last play here of the first half. Of course, you cannot end on a defensive penalty.
You know, as chilly as it is down here, Devin, the wind really not a factor, so really a pretty comfortable feeling down here right now.
3 wide receivers on the right-hand side. Hike has sights as a running back on his left hip. 3 seconds to go. Carter Hike takes the snap. He's going to look over the center of the field. It is complete, and it's going to be short. Short down at the 1-yard line. It looked like a Marion Hollow, but maybe got enough of that player. It was Strothman to keep him in the field of play, and Nemaha Central is going to come up less than a yard short of the end zone, and we are at halftime. 20-7, a huge stand there by the Southeast of Saline defense, and the Trojans are able to take a 13-point lead into the locker room here to warm up and to give them halftime adjustments, and they get a rousing ovation from their crowd who sees the purple-cladded Trojans running off the field. That is a big, big stop because Nemaha Central scheduled to get the football to start the second half here. As Carter Hike has been sensational, but Gannon Jacobson and company has been pretty good too. Here's Russ with Coach.
Coach, 20-7, your defense doing a phenomenal job. Offense getting the run game going early.
Yeah, I think our defense is playing awful well right now. We got to continue to do that. Got to make sure we continue to tackle well.
Big stop there to end the first half. Nemaha Central gets the ball to start the second. Your thoughts on the second half?
Well, that was a big stop. I mean, keep them out of the end zone there and keep a 2-score lead there. But second half, it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a war. You know that is.
You heard it, Devin.
All right, thank you very much. That is Coach on the field, along with Russ Kossel on the Salina Ortho sidelines as Coach Gebhardt goes to the locker room here. His Trojans leading 20-7. That brings us to our Knauf Auto and Truck Accessories halftime report. We'll step away. We'll take a break. When we come back, though, Tyler Henry has put the work in around the laptop and the reels of audio, if you will, to try to put together some plays that sum up this season for Southeast of Saline and what they're trying to have end with a state championship and a perfect 13-0 record here in Hutchinson. We'll revisit those plays and enjoy the work that Tyler put in. We will also come back and take a look at numbers from the first half. Of course, the Bennington State Bank scoreboard pretty skinny right now, but we'll recap the 6A game as well. We are at halftime with Southeast of Saline leading over Nemaha Central. Our score 20-7 here in Hutchinson.
Knauf Auto and Truck Accessories. Everything to bling out your ride in one place, including top quality lift kits, wheels and tires, bumpers, Jeep accessories, fender flares, bed covers, bed liners, step bars, even custom painting. Knauf Auto is the and soil dealer and has many synthetics and filters in stock. Visit Knauf Auto on Facebook for specials, great ideas, and let them make your truck stick out in a crowd. Knauf Auto and Truck Accessories, supporting the Southeast of Saline Trojans.
Hey Trojans fans, this is Angela Gebhardt, proud wife of Southeast Saline head coach Mitch Gebhardt. Just like the Trojans strive for excellence on the field, the Bank of Tesket goes the extra mile to offer top-notch checking accounts that fit your style. Whether you're managing your day-to-day expenses or planning for the future, our checking accounts are easy, convenient, and tailored for you. Plus, with your local roots and friendly service, we're here to support you every step of the way. Go Trojans!
Bank of Tesket, member FDIC.
At Maury Clinic Sports Medicine, we are available when you need us most. I'm Dr. Andy.
and 4th, and who cares? Southeast of Saline scores. 2 wide receivers to the right. Jacobson fakes the run. He wants to pass. He'll take it down the right-hand side. Caden Berrigan into the end zone. Jacobson just dropped a dime from 30 yards away to Caden Berrigan, his 2nd touchdown of the year. Shotgun snap back to Gannon in the seam. Douglas, he has it at the 20, at the 15, 10, 5, lunging for the end zone. Touchdown. Backs the Trojans of Southeast up to the 3-yard line. 2nd down and goal. Jacobson rolling out to Watkins, right-hand side. Evan with a touchdown. They'll sneak it inside to Canyon Douglas. Douglas plants that foot, cuts it back up inside, and he is into the end zone. 3 wide receivers to the right. They pitch out Gebhardt that way. Gebhardt looking for some blocks, has some space. He's going to have a Southeast first down. Look out, there's more. Broke another tackle to 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Grady Gebhardt.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Welcome back here to the Equity Bank broadcast booth. We are at halftime on the Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories halftime report. Chance to remind you the Kansas State High School Activities Association conducts officials rule meetings and training clinics, along with workshops throughout the state, with a view towards providing a sound educational experience for all athletes. For more information on becoming an official in any sport, contact the Kansas State High School Activities Association. Here at halftime, Southeast of Saline leading Nemaha Central 20-7. And how we got there, let's take a check of our offensive stats, brought to you by the Bank of Tesket. For Southeast of Saline throwing the football, 3 of 7 throwing the football in the air, 28 yards passing so far. 24 of them have gone to Tucker Thaxton on 2 catches. Grady Gebhardt also has a catch of 4 yards. Gannon Jacobson rushing the football is the leading rusher for Southeast of Saline. 8 carries, 82 yards. Also 14 carries, 75 yards for Grady Gebhardt. 2 carries for Canyon Douglas of 16 yards. For Nemaha Central, they are being led right now in rushing by Carter Hike. He has 16 carries, 112 yards so far. Also, Jaden Seitz, 3 carries for a loss of 5 yards. Hike throwing the football, 6 out of 9 for 51 yards. Caleb Strothman, 3 catches for 49 yards. Also, you have a couple of catches by Jack Mackey of 25 yards. Jaden Seitz also caught a ball for 1 yard. Final numbers of totals here. Rushing the football for Southeast of Saline, 173. For Nemaha Central, it is 112. For Southeast of Saline, 28 yards passing, 51 for Nemaha Central. Total offense in the first half, 201 for Southeast of Saline and 157 for Nemaha Central. 20-7 is our halftime score. That's a check of the offensive numbers. Brought to you by the Bank of Tesket. We'll be back with more halftime after this on KINA.
When does normal acute pain become abnormal chronic pain? Chronic pain can be one of 2 types, nociceptive and neuropathic. Each type differs based on what causes it, what it feels like, and what treatments may relieve it. Neuropathic pain can often be managed by a therapy called neurostimulation or spinal cord stimulation. If you suffer from chronic pain, ask your primary care physician for a referral to the Salina Pain Clinic. Our pain specialist will discuss the right options to manage your pain. Online at salinapainclinic.org.
When it rains, it pours, so it's important for you to get coverage that meets your needs. The team at Kniper Agency with Farmers Insurance can help you understand your options so you can prepare for what the forecast brings. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two. Learn more by calling Stephanie, Morgan, or Tiffany at the Kniper Agency at 825-8419 to find out how they can help you protect the things that matter most to you.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
The Southeast of Saline School District has a long-standing reputation for excellence. This excellence in public education has been a source of great pride and one of the factors contributing to the quality of life in our community. The Southeast of Saline Education Foundation works in partnership with the USD 306 School District and the community that it serves to maximize student potential, thereby creating a lasting legacy, not only for our children, but for our community. The Southeast of Saline Education Foundation salutes the Trojan sports program.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline Football on KINA.
20-7 our halftime score. That'll do it for the Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories halftime report. We get ready for a third quarter here. Southeast of Saline leading 20-7. Nemaha Central, the 2-time defending state champions in Class 2A. They are set to receive the football and the offering from Southeast of Saline as we start the second half. Rush, your thoughts on that first half of play and also keys to success, brought to you by New Image Audio for the second half.
I think on the defensive side of the ball, you did a much better job stopping the run, tackling. After the first drive where Nemaha goes down and answers the opening touchdown, you settle down in on defense and you don't allow them to score it again. So obviously you're doing something right. offensive side of the ball, I think you got to continue with what got you here. First half has been a whole lot of Gannon Jacobson running the ball and a whole lot of Grady Gebhardt running. And when they needed to throw, when they needed to catch on third down, he finds old reliable in 22, Tucker Thaxton on the sideline. It's going to start right here on defense, and the game plan hasn't changed, right? You still got to stop Carter Hike. They're still going to have him go with the football.
This third quarter that we're getting ready to start brought to you by Asaria Oil and Hardware. I think today's Keith's birthday, so happy birthday to Keith Blake. Of course, Keith and Lori at Asaria Oil and Hardware. They have pizza, they have snacks, they have ammunition, they have all kinds of things to keep you fueled up, keep you going, especially for hunting season. It's a good stop. You can fuel up also any time of day, 24/7 pumps at Asaria Oil and Hardware, a proud supporter of Southeast of Saline athletics and academics, and also keeping you fueled up for your next Trojan road trip. They are a proud supporter here of the third quarter.
What did you see, Devin, on the defensive side of the ball for Southeast? What adjustments, if any, needs to be made?
This game, it's fascinating to me because what has been set forth throughout the year is kind of what has been taking place. These two teams don't turn the ball over. Nemaha Central has 4 turnovers all year. Southeast of Saline right behind that. The only thing that kind of maybe a little bit that I think might emerge here in the second half, and I say this kind of a little tongue-in-cheek because they have the lead right now, is Southeast of Saline's passing game. They have not done a good job so far accumulating yards in the passing game, but they have also kind of passed to set up their run, which is kind of fascinating to me right now. Here's the kickoff by Malachi Hopkins. Strothman's going to try the return, and he's not going to make it very far. He's going to be ran out of bounds, twisting tackle out on the 32-yard line over there to make the tackle for the Trojans as they unpile everybody there.
Landon Albright?
Yeah, Landon Albright, Mr. FFA national champion.
And look, Taryn Potachik as well over there on that far side. So good field position here for the defense for Southeast. You got to stand up big here on this opening drive.
From the 32-yard line, Nemaha Central with the football. They have a 13-point deficit in front of them. Carter Hike will take the football. He will skip through the line of scrimmage. He will take off a gain of 3 and then be taken down there at the 35-yard line. Over 100 yards unofficially for Carter Hike in that first half of play. 17 carries now, 115 on the ground for the junior quarterback who was the Class 2A Offensive Player of the Year last year in the state of Kansas as a sophomore.
Yeah, he is definitely all that's hyped up to be. He's a stud in the backfield.
From the 35-yard line, 2nd down and 7. After that gain of 3, Hike wants to try it again. He is speared at the quads and then taken down from there. The first guy in to kind of impede his progress, so to speak, was Deacon Bear. And then piling on top was Brody Chambers. Hike made it out to the 37-yard line on a gain of 2.
Yeah, now 3rd and 5 right here on the opening drive. And Devin, it almost looks like when Carter Hike before the ball snapped is almost leaning forward to get that running start to get it. So a good job on the defense of collapsing in. You got to find a way to get off the field here on 3rd down.
He is a strong young man. He's 5'11", but he's 215. We've seen him throw jump passes in this game, 20 yards downfield without his feet underneath him. 3rd down and 5. Hike rolling out to the right-hand side, directing traffic. He's going to let a pass go, and he overthrows his intended receiver here at the 45-yard line. It is incomplete. He was looking for junior Jack Mackey, and that's going to bring up 4th down and 5 for the Thunder.
And he also had Caleb Strothman in the area. Both those guys kind of ran similar out routes, almost stacked up on top of each other. So you give up 5 yards. Your defense does the job for you once again. Now Nemaha is in punt formation with Tucker Thaxton back deep.
Southeast of Saline has almost been playing the punt fake all night long. They have all year long had 2 guys back to return. They've only taken 1 back here. And here is the fake. Hike on the option. It's an option play. And Southeast of Saline wrecks it. Drew Weller, Canyon Douglas wrecked that play for Southeast of Saline. They called the fake punt, and Southeast of Saline was there with 10 guys in the box. They were only missing Thaxton, who was back deep, and that's a big play here early in the second.
And Nemaha showed their hand early right there. The punter was back, and right before the snap, he walked up about 3 yards. Southeast made the adjustment, brought everybody off to the left, and there was nowhere to go with that. Nowhere. Every Southeast player was on this side of the field except for Tucker Thaxton back deep. That is a big stand. Now you get the ball at your own 34-yard line.
Southeast needs to take advantage of it. They're heavy on the right-hand side. Jacobson in there is going to give it to Gebhardt. Gebhardt bounces it out. Slide step. Goes to the outside. Shakes off 1 tackler. Rolls over another tackler. Grady Gebhardt's loose. All the way down inside the 20 to the 15. Grady Gebhardt destroying the Thunder.
Yeah, just absolutely wrecking havoc on the far side of the field over there. He gets around the corner. A great block on the outside by Caden Berrigan, allowing Grady to get a full head head of steam where he just pounds the Thunder defender down on the ground and gets 15 more yards after the carry.
Down to the 13-yard line, 21 yards. Again, southeast of Salina. This is in the Case IH Red Zone. Brought to you by Can Equip in Solomon. Here comes Evan Watkins in motion. He'll set up left-hand side of the offensive line. Back to Gebhardt. He has to spin off a defender, and he's going to be taken down there. Lost a yard on the play. Kudos on that play coming in was Jack Mackey once again, blitzing in off that left-hand edge. Loss of 1 for Southeast on that play.
And I've noticed that with this Nemaha team, when they give up a big play, they send the house on the next play. So that's something to put in your back pocket here as this game goes along. And now you're going to get Tucker Thaxton over on the far side by himself, Caden Berrigan, and Malachi Hopkins on the near side.
2 receivers to the left. Here comes a man in motion. They're going to give it to him in the belly of Thaxton. Thaxton trying to follow his blockers through, but now he's going to be grabbed and thrown down to the ground by Daniel Childress. Childress, the big nose tackle, anchoring this 3-man front for Nemaha Central, and he read that perfectly and was able to just reach out and grab the jersey of Thaxton and throw him to the ground. It'll be another loss here for southeast of Saline. This time they're going to lose 3.
Yeah, bring up 3rd and 14. Can get a first down inside the 5-yard line at about the 3.
You're playing with house money on this drive, though, right? Here's Jacobson. Back to pass, clean pocket. Now he starts to scatter around. Jacobson rolling out to the right. He's all the way back to the 27. Now goes forward to the 20. Lets it go. Gebhardt trying to keep the feet in bounds. Just could not reach out and bring that ball in at the 6. Still wouldn't have been a first down, but southeast of Saline now, instead of a 4th and 2, they're going to continue on with their 4th and 14 here from the 17.
And this plays into the hand, right, for this Nemaha defense, playing that standard 3-5 and having a bunch of backs that can fade back towards the end zone as they're going to put 5 guys back at least 7 to 10 yards off the ball. Gannon's going to have plenty of time. These receivers got to work to get open.
They're going to load up the right-hand side, will the Trojans of Southeast. This Nemaha Central team only has 4 quarterback sacks all year. They're going to fake it to Gebhardt, to the end zone. Jacobson wanted Thaxton, and Thaxton, in between 2 defenders, was going to have to reel it in real quick before he took a shot. He still took a partial shot from Carter Hike back there, but the southeast of Saline Trojans will have to turn it over on downs and give it back to Nemaha Central.
Yeah, tough break right there. You get a big opening play from Grady Gebhardt, and then you just go backwards from there. So 2 stalemates here to start this second half. Now you turn it back over to your defense. Much better field position for your defense this time, starting at the 17-yard line.
So from the 17, first down here for Nemaha Central. They go 2 receivers to the left. Doesn't matter. Hike will keep it. And there again with a bead on him. This time, Bryson Lippold from the outside. He was in there to stick his face in the fan and take down Carter Hike. Getting up from the bottom of the pile is Killian Vaughn. What a shock, right?
Yeah, he just lives down there at the bottom of the pile. He comes in and just a full head of steam blitzing. Just a good job right there up front. Now, if you're the corners, we saw this last week against Beloit, kind of biting for fakes when they want to throw the ball. Look for something here from Carter Hike to draw up.
Second down and 9 from the 18-yard line. Nemaha Central backed up here in southeast of Saline territory, but they stopped the Trojans. Hike wants to pass down the seam. Left-hand side, it's a low ball, and it's going to be incomplete, and a late flag comes in.
That looked like feet contact right there, as we'll probably get pass interference.
They do call pass interference. Referee Mike not working on that one, but they call pass interference. And I wasn't focused on that. I was looking back at the quarterback, but both players were kind of going down. As you said, looked like is incidental. But nonetheless, it's going to move Nemaha Central up to the 33, and it's a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, big penalty right there for this defense. You got to rebound here and try to figure out a way to get off the field again.
8:06 left to go, third quarter. Hike takes the snap, looking left, wants to pass. His pocket starts to collapse. Comes out left. Drew Weller is there. Now comes back to the right. Brody Chambers just got blocked in the back. Hike's going to take off and run, and he's going to get about 5 yards on the play. Grady Gebhardt there to stop him, along with the help of Drew Weller, who's playing downfield, almost as a linebacker on that play, as he was able to pursue from his defensive line spot.
Yeah, Brody Chambers was the outside defensive end on the far side and kind of got sucked inside, and that allowed Carter Hike to get around to the outside where there's really no contain and pick up 6 yards on first down.
Nemaha Central moves the football out to the 39-yard line. 7:27 left to go, third period, 2A state championship game in the third quarter, brought to you by Cereal Oil and Hardware. Empty backfield here for Hike. He sends a guy in motion. It's Strothman. He's going to give it to Strothman, and he will be absolutely destroyed. Grady Gebhardt came in like a heat-seeking missile. Strothman already had Canyon Douglas down around his ankles, and no gain on the play as those two linebackers we continue to talk about.
Yeah, Canyon there first to wrap him up, and then Grady coming in and just laying the stick right there at the 40-yard line on Strothman. Now 3rd and 4 right here from the 40-yard line for Nemaha Central.
That was Strothman's first carry of the night. He may not want to carry it again after that hit. 3rd down and 3 here for Nemaha Central. They're at their own 40-yard line. Hike takes it. He's rolling out to the left, has some space. Now he's going to throw it the last minute. It's going to be complete across the midfield stripe. Strothman there at the 49-yard line of southeast of Saline. It will be a gain of 11 and a first down for the Thunder, their first pass completion of the second half.
Pretty good coverage right there by Southeast. Had everybody dialed up, and Hike was able to get it into Strothman right there. Just a laser throw, but really good coverage. Much better coverage here early in this third quarter.
4 catches, 60 yards for Nemaha Central's leading receiver on the season. First down and 10, Thunder, southeast of Saline, 49-yard line. They'll load up 3 receivers on the right. Hike wants to keep it, but again, just manages a few yards here at the line of scrimmage before he's chopped down. Canyon Douglas, along with Killian Vaughn in there doing work again.
Yeah, you can't go away, right? This defense has got to stay true to what got them here, and that is that front 5 to 7 guys. Just continue to clog the run. Let them get 1 to 2 yards on these carries. You just got to find a way in the secondary to come up with a turnover that very rarely, you mentioned, that Nemaha Central does.
Gain of 2 on the play brings up 2nd down and 8. 3 receivers to the left. Here's the snap back to Hike. He is retreated. He wants to pass. Here comes the wave of purple. Amarion Hollub coming in. He's going to hit him high. Hike gets away. Now he's going to go down the left-hand sideline. He's going to take on a couple of Southeast players before Thaxton finally pushes him out of bounds. Boy, a big wave of purple that time. Hike ran right through him. Amarion Hollub tried to tackle him up around the shoulder pads, and that's not going to work on that young man. He then took out Gannon Jacobson on his way down that left-hand sideline, and a big, big play for Nemaha Central, who just gained 22 yards on that run.
Yeah, and you're going to have to tackle lower right now. You can't tackle Carter Hite that high, as he will just continue to run through you. Maybe a hold in the backfield on Brody Chambers as well.
Again, to the 25-yard line. Hike back to pass. Had an empty backfield, 5 receivers down the field. Now he's going to take off and run again. Deacon Bear grabbed him around the waist. Deacon still hanging on, and Hike's going to take it to the 20. Deacon, though, went for a ride, but he was able just to slow him down enough till the cavalry arrived, and it's going to limit that to a gain of 5.
Yeah, you had to, right? You got to hang on for dear life. If you can get a hold of this guy, you got to hang on and wait for your buddies to arrive, because we've seen it all year, what Carter Hike can do. Just drag players down the field, run you over, do whatever you can. You got to find a way to come up with a stand here. Nose of the ball right at the 20-yard line.
Nemaha Central starting to get some rhythm here. They're dropping back to pass, but they are doing it in the running game. They've only completed 1 pass here in the second half. Again, they go 4 wide receivers. Now they will fake the handoff to Seitz. Hike will keep it, and he will get maybe a yard before Gebhardt and company come in to take him down. Gebhardt that time had a Marion Hollub in his sidecar. Killian Vaughn also hanging out as a spectator to watch.
Yeah, much better job up front. They kind of lined a running back about a yard in front of Hite, a little off to the left, and it was just a lead block run, and Southeast read that well. Another big 3rd down. 3rd and 4 right here for Southeast.
No gain on that last play. 3rd down and a long 4 here. Again, 3 wide receivers to the right-hand side. Sights the running back in the backfield. Hike wants to follow him through on the left. Has the first down, still stumbling, still turning. He's going to be brought down at the 5. Just inside of the 5 goes Carter Hike, and he will have 14 yards on that 3rd down play.
Yeah, Nemaha Central has everything going right for them right now, just marching right down the field on this Trojan defense.
And they are in a hurry-up position here. Again, 3 wide receivers. They stay with this formation. They run the same play again. Hike trying to get to the goal line, and he's going to be stopped at the 2 after a gain of 2.
Yeah, you got to continue to stand right here. You got to be aware of the pop pass, the jump pass from Carter Hike, but I can't imagine that Nemaha Central will go away from number 6 right here inside the 5-yard line.
2nd down and goal from the 3 for Nemaha Central. They have Seitz in the backfield along with Hike. He has his hands on his hips. Now he's going to ask for the snap. He's going to surge straight ahead. Takes on a couple of Southeast of Saline defenders, and the pile goes into the end zone, but there's a flag on the far side of the field. Let's see if we can get the official's mic to work here. He lost it at halftime.
Illegal formation. Offense. More than 4 men in the backfield. Replay, second down.
Again, you hear the Southeast faithful in the background. They are cheering loud as the stands in front of us nearly packed here at Gowan Stadium on the campus of Hutch Community College. That will push Nemaha Central now from a touchdown. They came from the 2 inside the end zone. Now they're pushed back to the 7, where it remains second down and goal from the 7-yard line. Clock continues to roll. We're at the 3-minute mark of the third period.
And they're at 7 right now on the play clock.
3 wide receivers, right-hand side. They stick with the same formation. Play clock down to 3, down to 2. They snap it at 1. Carter Hike looking for some space. Killian Vaughn tackling him from behind. Now we have a pile situation, and the pile still continuing to surge. But in high school football, they're not going to let that go too much, and they're going to whistle it dead at the 2. Third down and goal from the 2 after a gain of 5.
Yeah, gotta tackle low, right? I mean, everybody up there was up high on Carter Hike, and he is gassed right now. He is gassed. You got to get down and hit him low at the thighs, at the knees. You're not going to be able to tackle this guy up high.
That football closer to the 3 than what it is the 2 after the official spot there. So it's third down and goal from the 3. Clock down to 2:10 now. Now they're going to split this formation and put a receiver off to the left. There's 1 left, 2 right. Hike still has Seitz in the backfield with him. Hike looking, looks to the end zone, has a receiver, and it's going to be caught over the shoulder and then dropped. Unable to complete that catch for the Thunder was Jack Mackey. Looked like a sensational catch, but he just could not reel it in, and a 4th and goal comes up.
Yeah, big play right there. As Mackey, Hike did a great job of finding him. Not only that, but getting pressure on the quarterback was Southeast. And now you got a big 4th down here early, late in the third quarter.
4th and goal from the 3. Inside 2 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. Big play here for Southeast of Saline's defense. 2 receivers right, 1 left for Carter Hike. He's going to take the snap, wants to run, angles off to the right-hand side. He has to beat 2 Southeast defenders, and he's going to split him and walk into the end zone on his feet. Carter Hike into the end zone, and he carried the majority of the load on that drive, and he's going to score from 3 yards away.
Yeah, 13-play drive right there from Nemaha Central to punch that one in, and now they're going to bring in for the extra point here to try to make this a 14-20 game.
So a 3-yard run by Carter Hike. The extra point coming up here. Levi Thomas, and the kick hits the upright and comes out. So Levi Thomas hits the upright, and this remains a 7-point game. 1:53 left to go in the third. This third quarter brought to you by Asaria Oil and Hardware from the Equity Bank broadcast booth in Hutchinson. This is Trojan Football.
Insurance is something we all need in our business, home, car, and life. But do you really understand what's covered? And most importantly, what you are paying for? Hi, this is Rob Carlson in the Salina office of Smart Insurance. Change is good, especially if you haven't looked at your insurance policy lately. I can help you understand what you need and where the gaps are in your coverage. We provide free quotes and take pride in looking out for you. Smart Insurance, with locations in Salina, Abilene, and Harrington. Give us a call today.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Welcome back to Gowan Stadium in Hutchinson. The 2A state title game, 20-13 is our score. Devin Haney, Russ Kossel, this third quarter brought to you by Asaria Oil and Hardware. Nemaha Central on a 13-play drive. Carter Hike, a 3-yard touchdown run. Point after kick hit the upright on the right-hand side, and our score remains 20-13 as the Thunder now have it teed up and ready to offer it back to the Southeast of Saline Trojans. Canyon Douglas, Tucker Thaxton standing around their own 15-yard line. This kick will not get to them as it will be taken here at the 35. Now stringing out left-hand side. Here's a good block. Bryson Lippold has the football, and he's going to fumble it. Oh, no, Nemaha Central picks it up. Lippold just kept fighting for yardage, and that ball came out. And Nemaha Central is going to have the turnover they desperately needed at the 44-yard line.
Wow, you would like to see Bryson Lippold look like he didn't even want to return that, and then he picks up a block and is able to spring it up. But Nemaha, he's going to go down. He had the ball in that inside hand, and a Nemaha Central player just comes in and rakes that thing out, takes a Nemaha bounce, and they recover it at the southeast of Saline 44-yard line.
You have a defense that just was taxed to the very end by Carter Hike, and now they have to go back out there and try to deal with the sensational junior quarterback from Nemaha Central once again. 1:43 left to go, third quarter. Southeast of Saline leads it by 7, but Nemaha Central here doubling up on possessions. They have had the ball. This will be their third possession of the third quarter. Southeast of Saline had it one time. First down for Nemaha Central at the southeast of Saline 44. See if the defense can recover from that fumble. Here's Hike back in the backfield. He is finally surging forward, and Drew Weller around his ankles will not let him get away. He will hold Carter Hike to a gain of 2.
Yeah, good job of hitting low right there and getting in the backfield. And right now, Nemaha Central just sending guys in motion all over the field for no reason. Carter Hike is just taking this ball and running it right in between the tackles, left and right on both sides.
Really closer to a gain of 1 once they put that football down at the 43-yard line. 73 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. 2 receivers off to the left now make it 3 as Seitz joins them. They're going to screen it out to Seitz. He's looking for space, and there will be none as Gannon Jacobson takes him out of bounds on an aggressive, vicious hit that takes him out of bounds for no gain on the play. What a hit by Gannon.
Yeah, Gannon was seeing red right there. You needed somebody to come up and make a play, and Gannon came from 20 yards back and read that thing like a book, and just on a beat, straight line, able to run down the Nemaha Central receiver for no gain on the play.
Deacon Bear over here getting attention from the trainers from Salina Regional Sports Medicine. They are everywhere southeast of Saline goes. Of course, working some overtime here in this extended football season for the Trojans. Trainer pats Deacon Bear on the back, puts his helmet on, and now he is ready to go. Third down for the southeast of Saline defense without Deacon Bear here. Third down and 9, Nemaha Central. 3 receivers on the right. Hike looking. Now he's going to run. He wants to chuck it again, and he is going to be tackled from behind by Deacon Bear's replacement, Ian Nicholson, and a flag comes in on the play.
In the area on the tackle of a face mask or possibly a hold.
Going to play. Personal foul. Face mask. Defense. 15 yards. First down.
So a couple of yards on the carry there for Carter Hike, then put the 15-yarder on top of it, and it's going to move the football for Nemaha Central to the 24-yard line. Mistakes are piling up here for southeast of Saline as they turned the football over on the kickoff after Nemaha Central scored, and now they have a personal foul that they need to overcome, but that's a quick third quarter, and we are at the end of it. Third quarter football presented by Assyria Oil and Hardware. We go to the fourth. Southeast of Saline leads it 20-13 over Nemaha Central. Fourth quarter action coming when we come back.
At Maury Clinic Sports Medicine, we are available when you need us most. I'm Dr. Andrew Westbrook, and I am the sports medicine physician at Maury Clinic. I see patients of all ages and help them come back stronger than ever. From broken bones to joint pain, my team and I are committed to help you do more. For those with sports injuries, come see us at our sports medicine walk-in clinic Monday and Thursday mornings from 8 to 9 a.m. Prevent, recover, and strengthen so you can perform your best. Maury Clinic Sports Medicine. Make your move with confidence.
Mary Maids in Salina offers house cleaning services you can see and feel. Your home is more than just a house. It's where memories are made and moments are cherished. Though life can be complicated, house cleaning shouldn't be. Mary Maids strives to take the stress out of your day so you can live your life your way. With more than 40 years experience and an advanced time-tested cleaning process, they can help you reclaim time with your loved ones. Find Mary Maids on Facebook or check out their website at marymaids.com.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
First down for Nemaha Central coming off of a penalty. Carter Hike with the football wants to pass it to the seam, and he's going to have a touchdown. He has Strothman running down the seam, and Caleb Strothman will have the touchdown for Nemaha Central as we begin the fourth quarter from 24 yards away.
Yeah, just got beat on a slant route, more of a post route in the middle of the field. he got on the inside of the defender. I wasn't able to see who that was. It might have been Thaxton over there. Regardless, a great ran route to run right at the defender and turn it up, and now on for the extra point once again.
Extra point is up. An attempt at a tie is good. So Nemaha Central goes back-to-back touchdowns. They are able to tie this game at 20 points with 11:55 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Want to thank Salina Medical Aesthetics along with the Shelter Insurance Agent. Your agent in Salina is Kelly Kitchener. Also Salina Ortho and Laundry Technicians. Boy, just a bad mistake there, Russ, by Southeast of Saline on that return. They got to avoid the same here.
Yeah, that was a 13-point swing right there in the matter of about 3 minutes as Nemaha Central gets the fumble by Bryson Lippold on the ensuing kickoff, and then they go about 4 plays and score another touchdown and get the extra point. So now you got a new ball game here, 2020, only 5 seconds into the fourth. Now on this ensuing kickoff here, if you're Southeast Saline, you got to hold on to the football. Maybe look for the up man if they get it up there at the 40-yard line, which is where he caught it last time. Maybe just go down. Take your starting field position right there.
And time of possession swung severely in the favor of Nemaha Central in that third quarter. As we said, Southeast of Saline, I think they only ran 5 plays in that third quarter. Meanwhile, Nemaha Central was able to crawl back into this. 20-20. Here's the kick from Thomas. It's going to be a squibber. It goes off a front man for Southeast of Saline. And then everybody covering it up for Southeast of Saline is now it feels like maybe Nemaha Central just picking people to think they want to bullet the ball at. Levon Hopkins recovers it up there for Southeast.
Yeah, he recovered it up, and then 2 other Trojans covered him up on top of it to get the ball. So now you got great field position starting at your own 43-yard line. You settle back down. Your offense really, had one great play. They ran 5 plays in the third quarter. Had big gain and then backwards the next 3.
Yeah, that was the 21-yarder by Grady Gebhardt, and then Southeast of Saline ran 4 more plays and turned it over on downs. Here's Grady Gebhardt in the middle of the fray. He's going to get to the 45-yard line, maybe 45.5, and then be ended there after a 3-yard gain. Grady knocking on the door unofficially of 100 yards here in this game. That was his 17th carry. Gannon Jacobson has also had success running the football, but Gannon has not had a rushing attempt here in this second half.
Yeah, they just pretty much everything up the middle besides that flip out to Grady with that big 21-yard gain. Maybe look for something here, Gannon, to get outside.
2nd down and 7 for Southeast of Saline. They go heavy left-hand side. Fake it to Canyon Douglas. Here's Gannon Jacobson, and he fumbles the football. Gannon Jacobson fumbles the football, and it's about in the same spot, only the opposite side of the 50 is what Bryson Lippold gave it up. So Southeast of Saline gives the football back to Nemaha Central here, and Nemaha Central's going to have it at their own 44-yard line.
Yeah, and you're asking, I know a lot of these players go both sides of the ball, offense and defense, but you're asking a lot for these guys to get out there in Nemaha just to keep pounding the ball up the middle. Somebody's going to have to find a way to make a play here in this fourth quarter. Now, having 2 possessions in the second half, and you've got 2 turnovers and 1 turnover on downs.
So a fumble to end the third quarter, a fumble to begin the second quarter for Southeast of Saline. And now Nemaha Central has a chance to break the tie. They will run Carter Hike across the 45 to the 46. He is swallowed up there by Grady Gebhardt and company.
Yeah, defense really right now has to dig in, right? You have to find a way to get off the field, whether that's to force a punt, try to get a turnover. And Devin, you've mentioned it multiple times in this broadcast. Nemaha Central has only turned the ball over 4 times this year.
2nd down and 8 coming up here. Yeah, 3 interceptions and 1 lost fumble. That's what Nemaha Central has for the entire 12-game season coming into their 13th. From the 46, Hike running the option, it looks like. Now he's going to slam on the brakes, cut up into the middle, and he will be tackled by Amarion Hollab and also Gannon Jacobson just shy of the first down. He's going to be about a yard short as he crosses the 50-yard line and goes to the Southeast of Saline 47-yard line. It's a gain of 7.
Yeah, just went under center there and just ran a quarterback sweep. He just turns out like he's going to pitch it, nobody there, and he just turns up and run. If you're Southeast, you got to find a way to plug those gaps up front, as that's probably where Nemaha Central, they just burned you down the field, down the middle.
3rd down and 2 for the Thunder. They have 2 wing backs now, 2 slot backs, and they will make it 3. It'll be a power block formation for Carter Hike, who will not give it up. It's defended well by Southeast of Saline, but on a 3rd and short, he's going to have more than enough for a first down.
Yeah, he nickel and diming you right now, getting 2, 3, and then 5 yards, and just enough right here. And we're under 10 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. So if you're Southeast of Saline, what's gotten you here so far has been your defense. They have been able to get off the field. This second half, they have been unable to get off the field, but once again, they've been on the field this whole second half.
Hike took that football to the Southeast of Saline 42-yard line, and they are not in any hurry right now. Look for them to take most of their time if they can. They snap it here with 12 seconds left on the play clock. Hike working his way off to the right-hand side. There's a flag in the middle of the field right at the line of scrimmage. So we'll get the call here from the lead official.
During the run, holding, offense, spot a foul, 10 yards, first down.
So a spot foul will drive Nemaha Central back here, and they will have to redo first down. It's first down and 20.
Yeah, you get a little bit of a gift there if you're Southeast with Nemaha Central getting caught with a hole on that play. So now your pass defense has kind of struggled, right? They did a jump pass in the end zone. Carter Hike's really kind of throwing the ball wherever he wants right now, so you can't fall asleep on the outside.
Yeah, where they've been able to pass the football the most is right down the hash marks, right down the seams. And that's where their success has come on their 2 touchdowns. First down and 20 here for Nemaha Central. Here's Hike, comes to the line of scrimmage, wanted to pass it, now he's going to take off and run, and he will be tackled by a host of Trojans. Killian Vaughn, the first one there to make contact. Then Brody Chambers comes in along with Canyon Douglas. Hike came across the 50, and he'll make it to the 48-yard line. It's a gain of 4.
Yeah, Marion Hollop on the far side of the field had the streaking receiver down the middle, which was Jack McKee, and he stayed with him the whole time. That's where Carter Hike wanted to go, so chalk that one up. Good job by Marion Hollop, but a good job on the near side of people staying home and corralling him on the run.
Second down and 16 now after that 4-yard gain for Nemaha Central. Football setting at the Southeast of Saline 48-yard line. 8:04 left to go here in a tie ball game, 20-20. 3 wide receivers to the right for Carter Hike, 2 to the left. They've really spread Southeast out here. Hike looking like he may want to throw. Now he unleashes it. Has an open receiver that goes down and catches it right at the sticks. He's going to be about a yard shy on a 15-yard gain. That one went to Jaden Seitz.
Yeah, and Canyon Douglas and Gannon Jacobson were right there, and Seitz just kind of found the soft spot in that zone coverage and sat right down. So now a 3rd and 1 here for Nemaha, probably looking for nothing fancy here, just going to be Carter Hike right up the middle.
Football sitting at the 33. I'm not sure why you would go away from that. It's 3rd down and 1 for the Thunder. They've taken it to Southeast of Saline's 33-yard line. Somebody moved for Nemaha Central, though, and this will wreck the plans as they drop the flag.
False start. Offense. 5 yards. Replay 3rd down.
And that really changes what this down and distance situation looks like for Nemaha Central. They had a 3rd down and 1 and almost an automatic for their offense, but now they're driven back 5, and they will have a 3rd down and 6. Still 2 downs, though, I would imagine, to pick this up. Line of scrimmage now at the 38-yard line.
Yeah, if you're Nemaha Central, you've moved the ball at will in this second half. So probably, like you said, 2 plays here to get it.
Clock continues to run. We are at the 7-minute mark to go here in the fourth quarter. 3rd down and 6, Nemaha Central. They empty the backfield. 5 wide receivers. Hike wants to run it. Makes no secret about that. He's going to make it to the 35 and then be spilled there.
Brody Chambers coming up big off the backside, getting off a block, and only allowing a 1-yard gain right there. So now, 4th down, right? If you're Southeast Saline, your defense has stopped them on 4th down already once. You got to find a way right here, dig in, and somebody has to come up with a play.
4th down and 3. That unofficially was Carter Hike's 24th carry of the night, 200 yards unofficially. 4th down and 3 for the Thunder. Football sitting at the Southeast of Saline 35-yard line. Southeast of Saline's defense being called on here. Hike with a hard count, rolls out to the right. Being chased there, he has Strothman, and he's going to make the catch. What a money player Caleb Strothman has been tonight for Nemaha Central. He is there in a pinch, and once again, the Thunder's leading receiver makes a catch just in time at the first down sticks at the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 5.
Yeah, and it was defended well. 2 Southeast defensive backs over there. Malachi Hopkins was one. I think Amarion Hollop was the other. Had good pressure, but Carter Hike gets that one out just in the nick of time to get it out and find Strothman for a first down.
First down, ball foot sitting just outside of the 30-yard line. 5:48 left to go. Now you have to start watching the clock a little bit here in this tie ball game with Nemaha Central just motoring it down the field. Here's Hike trying to get away from the interior line of Southeast. He does so, and he's able to spin it out here for an 8-yard gain. What a powerful run that was by the junior quarterback, Carter Hike.
Yeah, and his offensive line got some motivation at halftime, as right now they're winning the line of scrimmage against Southeast, and they're knocking on the door of the red zone, and we're knocking on the door of under 5 minutes to play.
Quick moving second half here with Nemaha Central taking their time and just killing time of possession. Southeast of Saline hasn't had the football. They've coughed it up twice to help that. Second down and 3 here. Football at the 23-yard line. Hike again, off to the right-hand side. He's hit early, but the pile goes ahead. It'll be a Nemaha Central first down. Gain of 3 on the play as Carter Hike gets it on the keeper.
Yeah, the nose of the ball going to be right on the 20-yard line. Got to find a way to stop the middle run. I mean, I don't think Nemaha's going to go away from it unless they do that fake run pop pass, but right now they are just eating the time of possession in the second half.
4:39 left to go here in this game. Clock continuing to trickle down. First down and 10 for Nemaha Central. Football sitting at the 20. And they're still kind of in a muddle huddle right here, not completely huddled, as they all stare over at the line of scrimmage. Now they have a quick huddle, quick call, and they come to the line of scrimmage with 9 on the play clock. Hike will take this down inside 5, and then he'll snap it. He'll keep it straight ahead. Hike bounces it out to the left-hand side, and he's going to be tackled there by Gannon Jacobson and Tucker Thaxton after a gain of 5.
Yeah, you're going to have to find a way to bring him up with a shorter gain than 5. He was wrapped up there with after about a 1-yard gain, and he just dragged Southeast players for that gain of 5 to take it to the 15-yard line.
And they are snapping the ball on average now of about every minute, Russ. I mean, they've taken this all the way down to 3:49 left to go. And that 40-second play clock, they are using every single bit of it as they get new plays in and then come to the line of scrimmage and hike it within 5 seconds left to play on the play clock. They come to the line of scrimmage again here with 10 seconds on the play clock. Hike with sights on his right hip. He will not give it up, though. He'll keep it to the right-hand side. And Brody Chambers just knocked his block off after a gain of 3. Holy cow, he went to cut back, and Brody was there. And he's going to take him down for a gain of 3. That'll bring up 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, now 3rd and short right here. Nemaha will probably run this thing. They can run it inside 3 minutes now before they have to snap this ball again. Can only get one more first down here, and hopefully Southeast gets some pressure up the middle. Maybe look for the linebackers to come out of somewhere. You blitz the middle, maybe send the outside guys, something to find a way to get a stop.
3rd down and 2. I don't want to say they're in 4-down territory because Nemaha Central does have a kicker. 3rd down and 2 here. Hike will keep it straight up, and he will get the first down. Inside of the 10, well, barely. I don't know here. They're going to move the chains. Both officials were coming in on the 10-yard line. They're going to think that he had enough to move the chains there on that 3rd and short.
And if you're Mitch Gebhardt and the Southeast Saline Trojans now, they can snap this ball right at about 2 minutes. You got 3 timeouts. You're going to have to think about somehow providing some time for your offense to get the ball back.
Traditionally this season, Southeast of Saline has been able to go down the field quickly. We haven't seen them do that tonight, and we don't know because they haven't had the ball here in the second half.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Time of possession is 10-1 right now.
1st and goal at the 10 for Nemaha Central. Carter Hike running it, sweep out to the right-hand side. He has to get around a couple of tacklers for Southeast, and he cannot. And now a timeout will be called by Southeast of Saline. We'll take it as well. We'll step aside for a 30-second timeout from the Equity Bank broadcast booth in Hutchinson. Trojan football is brought to you by Bennington State Bank.
When there is wastewater backing up into your home, time is crucial. Hours are precious to minimize the mess and damage. That is where Salina Septic Service looks out for you with direct access to their dispatch board, so you can schedule the first available appointment, upload pictures and description of your problem on the Salina Septic Service website, and secure your appointment 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Money-saving specials now and information on worry-free service plans when you visit salinasepticservice.com.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Back here in the Equity Bank broadcast booth, Trojan football brought to you by Salina Regional Sports Medicine along with Bennington State Bank. Second down and goal from the 10, I should say, for Nemaha Central. We are tied 20-20 with just 2 minutes and 1 second. 2:01 left to go here in this fourth quarter. Nemaha Central with the football. Shaded more towards the right hash. Carter Hike has been sensational here in this second half. He asked for the football again. He's going to sprint off to the left-hand side, hit at the knees. He'll fall ahead to the 5 and brought down there. And another timeout for Southeast of Saline to stop the clock. Give another 5 yards to Carter Hike as he is brought down. His 31st carry of the night, unofficially 226 yards. Ask any sports enthusiast what fall means in Kansas, and they'll tell you football, cross-country, volleyball, soccer, and much more. The best in entertainment, sportsmanship, and community involvement will unfold during the next few months. Activities give fans the opportunity to show how much pride they have in youth and talk about the accomplishments and support the school student body, faculty, and administration. This is a public service message from the Kansas State High School Activities Association and also KINA. I want to thank the Kniper Agency of Farmers Insurance, also Everhart Precision Ag, and Salina Pain Clinic for helping bring you Southeast of Saline football all season long. It won't be that long. It'll be 1 week from tonight. We'll already be talking about hoops as Southeast of Saline opens at home against the Heston Swathers. But business at hand. Third down and goal at the 5. Football sitting just inside of the 5-yard line for Nemaha Central. Southeast of Saline's defense being called on here. Tight formation, 2 wide receivers, 1 on each side. Carter Hike takes it. He's going to go off to the left. He's hit by Gannon Jacobson, and they're going to say Thunder touchdown with 1:51 left to go. Nemaha Central has scored with 1:51 left to play here in this game.
Nemaha Central has scored on 3 drives in the second half, and Southeast of Saline's only had the ball twice. Had a fumble on a kickoff. Gannon Jacobson fumble, and it leads to turnovers.
Doing the quick math in my head, I think Southeast of Saline's only ran 7 plays in the second half.
Yeah, and Nemaha Central is going to line up to go for 2
They're going to go for 2.
Knowing that Southeast will probably go for 2 as well if they score.
So being called on again is this defense. Carter Hike has it. A couple of fakes on the inner rounds. He's going to sprint towards the goal line, and he's going to have it. 8 points for Nemaha Central as they draw up the 2-point conversion, and now Southeast of Saline has to score twice in order to tie this game. But don't put the Cardiac Trojans to bed yet. 1:51 left to go in this one. We will step away for a 30-second timeout and back with more Trojan football after this on KINA.
In the trenches and on the ground, that's where the game is won. Isaacson Truck Line is a proud supporter of the Southeast of Saline Trojans. For local and long-haul service of freight and livestock, call Isaacson Truck Line, reminding you to have a safe Friday night on the roads. Wreak havoc, Trojans.
The Appliance Center. It's where you go to shop for washers, dryers, kitchen appliances, furniture, pellet grills, TVs, and so much more. If you are looking for a local, family-owned business, visit the Appliance Center. We're in the big red and white building on South Broadway in Salina. Come experience the Appliance Center difference.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
If you want to watch this game in its entirety on video, go to Salina Post Sports on YouTube. This game will be posted immediately following the conclusion of this one. Playing by regulations and rules handed down by the Kansas State High School Activities Association, we could not do video live this evening for this game, but the video will be on Salina Post Sports YouTube page. That action brought to you by the Bennington State Bank and also Salina Regional Sports Medicine. 1:51 left to go here. Nemaha Central has not kicked it deep. They've kicked it shallow to Southeast. And once again, Levon Hopkins answers the bell as he will give Southeast of Saline the football at the 40-yard line, 60 yards in front of Southeast of Saline here, who still has 1 timeout remaining and 1:50 left to go. 10 seconds less than 2 minutes. 1:50 left to go.
Yeah, Nemaha Central going for 2 right there. As sure-footed as their extra point kicker is, and they get the 2 points. So now the ball really in Southeast. Got to get down the field in a hurry.
2 receivers on the right, 1 on the left. Gannon Jacobson takes the snap. Play action to Grady Gebhardt. He'll slip it back to Gebhardt on the screen play. Grady gets free. He's going to go to the 50, 45, stumbling out of bounds. He'll take it inside the 40, and he will get it to the 38-yard line. Grady Gebhardt on the little slip screen. Gannon Jacobson's first completion of the second half goes to the 38-yard line. It's a gain of 22.
Yeah, and a good job by the right side of that offensive line. Kendall Minimum getting out and getting that key block to Spring Grady.
From the 38, Jacobson rolling out to the left. He's going to unleash it to Evan Watkins. Watkins has a first down as he steps out of bounds. Inside the 30 at about the 27 or 28. They're going to move the chains to the 28-yard line, a gain of 10 for Evan Watkins.
And if you're Southeast and you know you get the ball out of bounds, the clock stopped. You don't have to hustle up and get back to the line. I know they want to go quick, but you got to be strategic here.
Gannon Jacobson empties the backfield. 4 wide receivers on the right. He's rolling out to the right-hand side. He's going to throw. There's Canyon Douglas. Douglas tiptoeing his way down the sideline. He's going to step out at the 5. A 23-yarder to Canyon Douglas.
And Gannon Jacobson read that perfectly. Caden Berrigan was wide open in the back. Saw the safety coming over, just dropped it to the underneath. Then Caden does his job, turns around, blocks his guy, gets an extra 4 yards.
First catch of the night for Canyon Douglas. Southeast of Saline's down to the 5. It's only taken him 21 seconds. Here's Jacobson dancing his way around, and he'll be thrown down at the 4. A rush for 1 yard. That is Gannon Jacobson's first rushing attempt of the second half.
Yeah, I like the play call right there. The clock continues to run, but still plenty of time. 1:13 and ticking here. So they'll probably snap the ball with about 1:05 left.
Now 4 wide receivers on the left-hand side. Empty backfield for Jacobson. Gannon wants to roll that way. Has some space out in front of him. Now that window closes. Gannon shakes off a tackler. Now he comes back the other way. Gannon Jacobson, spin move, goes ahead, gets into the end zone. Gannon Jacobson, a 4-yard touchdown run, and he has just pulled Southeast of Saline within 2. Gannon Jacobson was dead in the rights of the Thunder defense and then ended up getting into the end zone.
Yeah, good read right there. He had a Thunder defensive lineman on his back, and he's able to shake him. Looked like he was going to turn that one up to the outside of the field, and then he just cuts it back up, and all-will gets into the end zone. Now the all-important 2-point conversion.
Going for the tie. Grady Gebhardt on the left hip, and Nemaha Central wants a timeout. We'll keep it right here. A chance for us to thank some more sponsors that made this broadcast and this season possible. People like Jeff Wells Agency of American Family Insurance, Frisbee Construction, and Salina Medical Aesthetics. Of course, jumping on board tonight to help bring that tape-delayed video broadcast that will live on YouTube forever, Salina Regional Sports Medicine and Bennington State Bank. We'll also have full coverage ongoing right now on SalinaPost.com and Salina Post Twitter page at @SPostSports. So we enlisted the very talented Tanner Colvin to get some still shots of this game. I don't know that there's anybody better at photography that I am aware of when it comes to sports and different situations like that. But Tanner is on board. He's doing a great job. Of course, Tyler Henry from Amarillo, Texas right now, as he's on the road with Kansas Wesleyan. And the championship awards have made it down to the 50-yard line. 2-point conversion waiting here for Southeast of Saline. 57 seconds left to go. Right now, that time is irrelevant. Southeast down by 2, looking to tie it up. Cluster of receivers to the right-hand side, and now Mitch Gebhardt sprints down the sideline. Boy, we could line these two coaches up. Probably have a pretty good race, right? But Coach Glatzik and Coach Gebhardt over it on this track here, they will talk about it again as these two play chess. You look at, we talked about the percentages of these two coaches, and I kind of shortened the window a little bit just because these two teams played in the playoffs in 2018. Coach Glatzik came in 2020. So Southeast of Saline beat Nemaha Central in the first round of the playoffs in 2018. The next year under head coach Warren Seitz, Nemaha Central won a state title. Seitz stepped down. He's now the activities director at Nemaha Central. They bring in Michael Glatzik, and now they have picked up right where Coach Seitz left off. These two records since that 2018 playoff meeting, Nemaha Central is 63-9. Southeast of Saline is 60-7. They are combined 123-16. That is insane.
Yeah, just an insane record. And, I mean, just two head coaches that know the game obviously very well, and Glatzik and Gebhardt. Chess match right now comes down to this 2-point conversion.
They'll line up in the same formation, have it more towards the center of the field. Jacobson waiting on the snap. Couple misdirection plays. They'll put it in the hands of Thaxton. Thaxton wants to throw, and he has it. Malachi Hopkins on the 2-point conversion as Malachi in the end zone for 2 and the tie on the game. 57 seconds left to go. We'll step away. A 30-second timeout. We have split 56 points down the middle here on KINA.
Assyria Oil and Hardware encourages you to celebrate your freedoms and the best country on the planet. Stop in and check out the largest ammo supply in southern Saline County. Stock up now and be ready for next season. With 24/7 pumps, no matter what time of day or night, your gas and diesel tanks can rely on us. During regular business hours, you can get your favorite pizza and snacks to have enough energy to win the day. Assyria Oil and Hardware, located in Assyria at the corner of Center and Main. We'll fill you up.
You're listening to Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
What a play call on a 2-point conversion. Maybe, I don't know, 99% of the people in the building knew that maybe Tucker Thaxton would get that ball. Couple of little fake shadow handoffs. They ended up to give it to Tucker on an end around, going from right back to the left. Of course, there were two Nemaha Central defenders right there, dead in rights, ready to take Tucker Thaxton down, and he passes for a score to Malachi Hopkins in the end zone.
Yeah, good play call right there. Now on the kickoff, you want to keep this out of Carter Hike's hand. You cannot kick the ball to him, and I know they tend to kick it to the right side, which is where Carter Hike is lined up.
Here's the kickoff. It's going to angle in the soft spot of the field. The ball is still free, not being covered up. Did Southeast get it? Southeast got it. Southeast got it. Southeast of Saline has the football at the 30-yard line. That ball bounced 3 times off the turf, and Southeast of Saline comes in and they cover it up. A lot of celebrating going on right now, but Southeast still needs to score.
Yeah, you got to get the ball, and what a placement right there by Malachi Hopkins. He kind of puts a sidewinder on it right in between two Nemaha Central players, and nobody makes an effort to go get the football. It just kind of rolls around there at the 30-yard line. Now you're sitting. You got 30.5 yards to go in 56 seconds.
Remember, Southeast has no timeouts. They took the last timeout to set up that 2-point conversion. 4 wide receivers on the right. Jacobson back in the middle of the field. They set up the screen, and it's going to go for a gain of 1. Clock still running. It went to Gebhardt on a gain of 1. It's worth a shot, right? Why not?
Yeah, got to go back to it. It's worked so well.
Back to the shotgun from the 29. 2nd down and 9. Jacobson rolling out, being chased from behind. I don't know if he sees it. Good block there. And Jacobson throws the ball into a crowd, looking for Thaxton at the 10. It falls incomplete, but that will stop the clock for Southeast of Saline.
I think you're okay with that, right? Throw it away. He threw it back into the middle of the field, which what you don't want to do when you're rolling to the right and throw it across your body. But yes, it does stop the clock. Now 3rd down, 8 to go, 35 seconds left. Got to come up with a play call here. Maybe look for a leaking streaker out of the backfield.
3rd down and 9. Jacobson, play action to Gebhardt. Rolls out to the right. He's looking up over the top of Canyon Douglas. Still leaves 30 seconds on the clock, but now it's a time and distance thing, a down and distance thing for Southeast of Saline. Now they have it. It's at the 29-yard line, just inside of the 30, but it's 4th down and 9. You got to pick this up.
Yeah, you got to get inside right at the Case IH red zone. Canyon Douglas going to come out. Malachi Hopkins back in the game. And Nemaha Central's done everything they can to take Tucker Thaxton out of this game. So you'll see now as they're going to split Gebhardt out. We'll have 3 wide outs to the near side, 2 wide outs to the far side.
2 catches on the night for Tucker Thaxton of 24 yards. He has been pretty much quieted in this game. Here's Jacobson rolling out to the right. Good blocking out in front. Jacobson now will peel back, go the other way, looking for someone. He doesn't have anybody out there. He's going to use Ian Nicholson for a blocker. Unloads it sidearm style to the 20-yard line. Tucker Thaxton shakes a tackle. Thaxton 15, 10, 5, pylon, touchdown, Southeast of Saline on 4th down and 9. Gannon Jacobson buys enough time. He finds Tucker Thaxton. It's 29-yard touchdown. Southeast scores.
Trojan magic, right? Way too much time on the clock. You leave Nemaha Central all the time to go down the field. You make a special teams play when you need it. Your quarterback that has orchestrated this offense, game in, game out, orchestrates a drive, 100% on him, floods all over the backfield, finds him in the end zone for a touchdown.
2-point conversion on the shelf. Jacobson sidesteps a defender. His arm is caught, but it's still going to be complete. Jacobson had a defender on his right arm, and he throws it into the hands of Evan Watkins. Southeast of Saline, they post 8 with 11 seconds left to go. Nemaha Central has 2 timeouts remaining, and we will keep it right here. What a drive for Southeast of Saline. These Cardiac Trojans just scored 2 times with 1:50 on the clock. They scored twice. with 1:50 on the clock to come back down 8 and take a lead.
Wow, let's take a breath here. Still 11 seconds left on the clock. Nemaha Central still has 2 timeouts. You got to kick the ball off, and I think once again you have to keep the ball away from Carter Hike. You cannot let him put his hands on this football.
29-yard pass play, our Everhart Precision Ag pass of the game. Seal it up. That's it right there. 36-28, southeast of Saline.
Pass of the game, Vernon Jewelers' gem of the game. Tucker Thaxton hitting the pylon in the corner of the end zone. How can you not make everything that happened on that play but chalk that one up? Gannon Jacobson ran around in the backfield for what felt like 30 seconds, knowing he had to keep the play alive, and where Tucker Thaxton's smartness comes into play.
Still need to play. Coach Gebhardt tells the boys this: it doesn't matter if you're behind or ahead. You keep playing until there's zeros on the scoreboard. That holds true here. 11 seconds left to go. You have one of the best players in the state of Kansas, all classes, taking the football to 25. He bobbles it, though. Now he's going to pick it up. He'll run straight ahead, and he is tackled there. Tackled by Evan Watkins at the 35-yard line. Nemaha Central has 7 seconds remaining, 2 timeouts, which really isn't an issue. Don't put Nemaha Central to bed yet. They're the champions until they're not. And you can never put somebody to bed early. We found that out last week.
Yeah, you're exactly right. So your defense right here, right? You can't let anything behind you if you are the secondary. They have everybody back. Tucker Thaxton back. Marion Holla back. Gannon Jacobson back. Malachi Hopkins back. These front 3 have to find a way to get pressure to have Carter Hike run around.
But you don't want to be too passive with his running game. We've seen him run through people all night long. Hike takes a look backwards. 5 wide receivers. He wants to pass. Steps up. Brody Chambers is there. Hike has to get rid of it, and that's the game. Nope, 1 second left. 1 second remaining. There was a receiver about 10 yards down the field from where the pass fell. They always say your average play in football takes 6 seconds. That took exactly 6 seconds. He was looking for Strothman, but he had Brody Chambers and company hanging around his waist. And a timeout, Nemaha Central, the last one. And we will keep it right here. What a game. I don't know excitement-wise that you can ask for anything else out of the Southeast of Saline football team. They just will not go away. And they have 1 more second here in Hutchinson. They have to get a stop.
Yeah, you got to come up with a way. There's 1 second left. You got to watch for the hook and ladder, the everything that could go on. But right there, we saw for the first time tonight on a pass play that the 3 defensive linemen were able to get a little pressure and flush Carter Hike up in the pocket.
Of course, the Kansas State High School Activities Association always looking for good officials, like the officials that have officiated this game. They have rules meetings, trainings, and workshops throughout the state. Get with the Kansas State High School Activities Association. That good official might be you. Go through some training. Can never have too many good officials across the state of Kansas for any sport or activity. 1 second on the clock, 36-28. Southeast of Saline has an 8-point advantage. You have the best player in the state in Class 2A taking the snap. The 2-time defending champions have the last say about it. Here's the pass, and it's going to be a tackle by Grady Gebhardt in the middle of the field, and Southeast of Saline has won. The Trojans have won this game. They scored 2 touchdowns in less than 2 minutes to go. 1:50 remaining on the clock. Southeast of Saline might have been written off. They were down by 8 points, 28-20, but Southeast of Saline scores the last 16 points in this game, and the Trojans win their 2nd state title in school history, and they win it 36-28. Southeast of Saline, 2 for 2 in state title games. You go back to the 2005 champions, and now smiling upon these champions here in 2024. For the Trojans of the past, the Trojans of the future, and most importantly, the young men representing the community of SES today, it is always a great day to be a Trojan. And today, everyone will know and call you champion. Southeast of Saline, 36. Nemaha Central, 28. Postgame brought to you by Commercial Tire Center is next. We'll go over final numbers and have comments from head coach Mitch Gebhardt. It's coming up after a Trojan victory, 36-28. Your 2A state champions reside in Gypsum.
I'm Brian Arms, your mortgage loan originator at Equity Bank here in Salina, Kansas. I'm a lifelong Salina resident here to tell you our bank can offer you mortgage and refinance options with terms designed for you. Why leave our community when you can choose the bank that never forgets it's your money? With 2 locations in town on Ohio Street and Santa Fe Avenue, there's no better time to apply online, in person, or over the phone. Learn more at equitybank.com, equal housing lender, member FDIC.
At Vernon Jewelers, we are celebrating 140 years of our family serving yours, serving you with the best in prices, quality, and the service to back it up. You can trust us for your unique custom pieces and any repair you may need. And just because we've been around for 140 years doesn't mean we are old and out of touch. It just means we're really good at what we do. Now is the time to shop for the holiday. Come see us in downtown Salina and look for the iconic Vernon Jewelers sign on Santa Fe, here for you since 1884.
The Trojans are experts in precision passes, and Everhart
Russ, if you can make your
Precision
mic
Ag
hot
are
during the
your
trophy
experts in
presentation,
grid
that
soil
might help.
sampling. Everhart Precision Ag does all the sampling and data analysis in-house, keeping it local and close to the farm. They're also your local channel seedsman, selling all seeds with an emphasis in corn and soybeans. Trust Matt Everhart and Lane Hensley at Everhart Precision Ag, serving Saline, Dickinson, McPherson, and Ottawa counties, and also supporting southeast of Saline Trojans. For more information, visit everhartprecision.com.
Fall is the absolute best time for the experts at Commercial Tire Centers to look over your vehicle. Summer was tough on your tires, and winter's coming on strong. You don't want to be left.
Time for the Trojan postgame show on KINA Sports. Stick around for the game recap, final stats, and reaction from the coach. This is Trojan football on KINA.
State football championship team, the Trojans of Southeast of Saline. Presenting the team medals to head coach Mitch Gebhardt to the members of the cheerleading. And presenting the 2024 state championship team trophy to head coach Mitch Gebhardt and the team captains is Hutchinson Community College head football coach Drew Dallas. Congratulations to the Trojans of Southeast of Saline on a great season and for winning the 2024 Class 2A State Football Championship, finishing 13-0.
Audio a little distorted there coming over the PA system here at Gowan Stadium, but boy, what a come-from-behind victory there for Southeast of Saline in this game. 2 touchdowns by the Trojans with under 2 minutes left to go. And again, you know, I was sitting there going over stats after the Beloit win, and Gannon Jacobson threw for 5 touchdowns, and it hit me after the game that those 5 touchdowns went to 5 different people. Well, you look at that last drive that Southeast of Saline was able to tie the game, and it was everybody getting involved again. It was Grady Gebhardt, then it was Evan Watkins, then it was Canyon Douglas, then it was Gannon Jacobson running in for the touchdown. You're going to say, wow, they just went down the field and they just scored, and they tied this game without Tucker Thaxton being involved. But then on the 2-point conversion and then on the go-ahead touchdown on the next drive, guess who got involved? It was Tucker Thaxton, and the senior had the final say in this game as his Trojans were able to get the victory here in Hutchinson, 36-28. It's just the second trip to the state tournament the Southeast of Saline has had, and now they're holding the top trophy, taking pictures, and you're going to be sure to revisit those moments on SalinaPost.com later on. What a game this was, and I don't know, how do you find the words? I get paid to talk for a living, but sometimes you just got to shake your head and smile, and we're waiting the arrival of Mitch Gebhardt down on the field. And Russ, I don't know if you have me or not. Your mic is hot if you're ready to go here.
I got you.
But boy, you just talk about the resiliency of this team. And I think the last weekend at Beloit maybe taught this Trojan team a little bit something. They also had a game like this in Clay Center, right? And Coach Gebhardt and I talked about that in the pregame, how that might have taught them a little something to never give up and how to seal the deal. It was a much different story last week and here tonight than what it was at Clay Center. Clay Center, they were the lead runner. But then the last 2 weeks now, they've had to come from behind. But definitely aware of how to do it, and definitely aware to never take a game for granted until there's zeros on the clock. And Southeast of Saline here tonight, they just would not die.
Exactly right. As Mitch is kind of pointing me out, I'm going to let him hug his wife first. And, Devin, I'm going to leave it up to you so I can find these guys.
All right, good decision there. Let the wife get in first. I like it. 36-28 is our score. Southeast of Saline, not only do they win a championship here, guys, but they also complete a perfect season. And that is not easy to do. When you look through the annals of history, Nemaha Central has done it twice. In 2023 and 2022, coming into this, they had 2 perfect seasons. But then they got young. They had to rebuild a little bit. They roll into their first game against a very tough Marysville team, and they stubbed their toe in the first game of the season. Southeast of Saline, the regular season hasn't been a problem, and now they complete the story.
Devin, we're here with state champion head coach Mitch Gebhardt. Mitch, Devin's kind of named you guys the cardiac Trojans, right? And maybe that game last week taught you something.
Well, I told them they took the last 2 games have taken 10 years off my life, but that's okay. I think that's kind of the personality of these kids. They don't give up. They keep working. We had some bad things happen to us there in the third quarter. You know, we've fumbled the ball one time all year, and we fumbled it twice. We overcame that, and the kids kept fighting and clawing and everything else against a really good Nemaha Central team, and we got the victory.
Yeah, that's all that matters, right? You come out in the second half, and your time of possession is just lopsided. You guys don't have the ball hardly at all. You have it 1 drive in the third quarter, and yet you come away, and Gannon finds a way to find Tucker Thaxton, but he ran around what felt like for 45 seconds back there.
Well, we should have scored on the drive when we had the ball, and then a lot of this goes away, but we didn't. So, kids make plays, and that's what we do, I guess. That's what the kids did the last couple of weeks. When a play needed to be made, they made it, and pretty proud of them.
All right, Coach. Well, more importantly, you went 1-0.
We did go 1-0
in the week that matters.
13 weeks
That's
in a row.
right. 13 in a row, 1-0.
You bet.
You got 2 young men over here standing here waiting to talk to you. Congratulations, Coach.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Devin.
Yeah, going to 1-0 has been a big deal every single week in Southeast Saline. They seal it, and now not only have the most regular season wins consecutively in an active winning streak in the state of Kansas, they will take that winning streak into next year. Now, and we talked about Nemaha Central tonight, and the fact that they only have 4 seniors on that team. This Nemaha Central team will be back. You don't want to dismiss them. This is a learning moment for Nemaha Central, of course. You can't always be on top of the hill. Sometimes you're going to meet some adversity. That's what the Thunder did tonight, and hats off to them. This team, though, is loaded with sophomores. They only have 4 seniors. They will be back. I assure you of that. But when you look at Southeast of Saline, they have a nice senior class of 9 young men, and they will be back as well. They have a big junior class and a bunch of talented sophomores coming back as well, Russ.
Yeah, you're exactly right. This may be what we're looking forward to next year, right? A game of obviously 2 of the best teams in the state, and boy, did it deliver.
Let me rest first, would you? Let's.
Okay, yeah, you go ahead. I'll continue down here. Maybe we'll find another coach or something to talk to down here.
Let's take we got a basketball season to go through first on Friday, but what a game here tonight for these Southeast of Saline Trojans. We still have final numbers to go over for you. We also have a Vernon Jewelers gem of the game before we put this one to bed. The Commercial Tire Center post-game show, it will continue as we take one more break. We'll be back to close it out. Southeast of Saline, your state champions here on KINA.
Fall is the absolute best time for the experts at Commercial Tire Centers to look over your vehicle. Summer was tough on your tires, and winter's coming on strong. You don't want to be left stranded with tires that aren't performing. For the truck, SUV, trailer, farm, and big rigs. Commercial Tire will help you keep safe and productive. Commercial Tire Centers, West Crawford and North 9th in Salina.
Commercial Tire Centers, where the service is everything.
It's third down and 8 for the Trojans. They really need to make the right call here.
During the football game, it's crucial to make the right call. And in real estate, one call can bring a positive outcome from your real estate experience. Whether you're looking for real property, upsizing to make room for the family, downsizing, or acquiring investment property, call Winnell Garrettson at Salina Homes.
What a call! Touchdown, Trojan!
Buy or sell, call Winnell.
Your mailbox is stuffed full, and the phone keeps ringing. There are even strangers knocking at your door. Open enrollment time for Medicare and prescription drug plans is here, and it brings all kinds of unsolicited activity. Call a local firm with people you know at L&L Advisors. Plans can change pretty drastically year to year, and the agents at L&L Advisors are happy to answer your questions, give you advice, and make you feel at ease. With 2 locations in Salina, on Roach Street and Central Mall, and on South Main and McPherson. Built on honesty and trust, call L&L Advisors today.
The hours of drills, the pre-dawn workouts, the hundreds of laps. It takes hard work, passion, and drive to do what you love. When you're sidelined by injury, Salina Regional Sports Medicine is just as committed and works just as hard to get you back in the game. Salina Regional Sports Medicine, 785-452-7366. SalinaRegionalSportsMedicine.com.
You are listening to Southeast Trojan Football on KINA Sports.
Back here at Gowan Stadium in Hutchinson, ready to close it out here after a state title game. Again, you can watch video of this game. Just go to Salina Post Sports YouTube page, and the video will be posted there. Also, full coverage on SalinaPost.com and on the Twitter page for Salina Post Sports. It's at @SPostSports. As we take a look here at some final numbers, when you look at passing tonight for Southeast of Saline, Gannon Jacobson, 8 of 16, 114 yards, 2 touchdowns. Those touchdowns went to Tucker Thaxton and Grady Gebhardt. Each of those guys had 3 receptions. Thaxton ends up with 53 yards and a touchdown. The most important one of the night, a 29-yarder that put the Southeast of Saline Trojans up. That our Everhart Precision Ag pass of the game to Tucker Thaxton. And boy, what a way to close out his senior year, winning a game and carrying your team there. It wasn't only that pass, it was also the one that he threw into the end zone for the 2-point conversion to Malachi Hopkins. Canyon Douglas tonight, he had 1 catch, 23 yards. Evan Watkins had a catch for 10 yards. Rushing the football, Grady Gebhardt tonight, 17 carries, 101 yards and a touchdown. Gannon Jacobson, 11 carries, 85 yards, 2 touchdowns. Canyon Douglas, 2 carries, 16 yards. Tucker Thaxton, a carry that got no yards on the play. For the Nemaha Central Thunder, Carter Hike had 12 of 18 passing, 114 yards, 2 touchdowns, but he racks up 234 on the ground on 44 carries, 2 touchdowns there. Receiving, Caleb Strothman was his main receiver, 6 catches, 63 yards and a touchdown. Jack Mackey also had a touchdown, 3 receptions, 28 yards for him. Really no rushing game to speak of other than Carter Hike for Nemaha Central. When you go through the final numbers here and the totals, 229 yards rushing for Nemaha Central, 197 for Southeast of Saline. Both teams had 114 yards passing, ironically. Total offense on each side, 343 yards for Nemaha Central, 311 for Southeast of Saline, and the discrepancy there is in the plays. Nemaha Central tonight ran 67 plays. Southeast of Saline only ran 47 plays. Time of possession got out of whack, too, with that third quarter. 32 minutes time of possession for Nemaha Central, 15 minutes for Southeast of Saline. But again, you go to third down conversions. That's where Southeast of Saline's strength has been this season. Nemaha Central was 5 of 12 on third down. Southeast of Saline was 4 of 8 on third down. They were 2 of 3 on third down. And I think when we round this out for our season Smart Insurance play of the game, and boy, you look at the plays and you look at all this, we've talked about it a little bit. I'm not sure that there's a smart play of the game. I think it's just the way this team plays, right? They are a smart football team. We saw it in Clay Center, and I hearken back to that in week number 2. You have a lead and you're running out the clock. You have a chance to possibly score touchdowns on some of those power sweeps, but we see guys like Grady Gebhardt going down with the baseball slide, just keeping the clock going. You know, and you and I were talking on the way home, Russ, it's like we got a team here that's influenced by a lot of great coaches, and now some of those coaches' kids. Yeah. And you look at that. You go back to Beloit last week. We did not envision them going down the field with 49 seconds left to go and no timeouts, but they were able to do that. You look at the game here tonight. 2 touchdowns in less than 2 minutes. Again, guys catching the ball, getting the first down, stepping out of bounds to stop the clock. It's not a Smart Insurance smart play of the game. It's a smart team.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. And, I mean, you touched on it. It's smart all year. right? It's the going down and back. It's the little things that don't show up in the stat sheet. You know, you go downfield, you get out of bounds when you need to. I mean, you go back to that last drive where Malachi kicks off and Southeast recovers it. You know, you're thinking, oh, we got a shot now. Well, then Gannon has to run around forever. Well, I mean, I told Mitch Gebhardt down the field, you heard him say, he said it felt like a minute. Well, I said 30 seconds, but, you know, it's the smart play of the receivers, like Tucker Thaxton knowing where to go. You've touched on it all year. The chemistry that those two have and the route running ability of Tucker Thaxton has what impressed me the most. But he was taken out of this ball game. I mean, he was all but shut out and still had guys step up to make the play. And when your offense needed to make plays, your offensive line did a great job of giving Gannon time. You know, that it leads into receivers kind of running around like their hair on fire, just making something up at that point. But this team just finds a way to win. And they've had a couple close games. You know, we've touched on it a lot. Last week we've talked about that game for 7 days now. We talked about it on the way up here. And now we're going to have one to talk about the rest of the year.
Gannon Jacobson, boy, he is really something when you look at some of the things that he has done this season. And when we focus on our Vernon Jewelers Gym of the Game, as is tradition with this broadcast, we always lean on the seniors, right? There's a class, I touched on them, on 9 seniors. And what better way to go out than with a state title here in 2024? I said it when the game got over. For the Trojans of the past and the little kids out here wearing Trojan gear that are looking to the future, that they want to be on this field someday, and they want to play for head coach Mitch Gebhardt and Chance Patachik and Coach Jacobson and Coach Baird and Coach Douglas. Boy, it's for them too, because now they see things like this. Now they want to be great. But, man, for those guys on the field tonight, this was something that needed to happen at Southeast of Saline. That door was getting thick. It was getting big. Every single year they would get to the doorstep and be turned away. But today, Southeast of Saline kicked that door down, and they marched right inside and took that trophy that says champion on it. And Southeast of Saline will be able to enjoy this one for quite some time. 2 of 2 now in state title games, with 05 under the direction of Pat Haxton, and now in 2024 under the direction of head coach Mitch Gebhardt. 36-28 our final score. We'll have a full recap on SalinaPost.com. We'll also have information on this game and some fun stuff with highlights on Salina Post Facebook page. Also, Tyler Henry putting some information up as well on X or Twitter at SPostSports. So can't thank everybody enough for being involved in this. Russ Kossel, you've been on the ride with me this whole time. Chris Cadle producing and engineering back at Studio Central. Brian Dennett capturing that live stream video that you can watch on YouTube tonight. It will be posted. Of course, that's free of charge. It's on demand. You can go relive the state championship game anytime you want. Also, Tyler Henry kind of behind the scenes making the Southeast of Saline machine roll as well. Our next broadcast of Southeast of Saline football will come your way on Friday, as Southeast of Saline will be at home to host the Heston Swathers. But I imagine there's going to be just a little bit of a football championship hangover that Southeast of Saline will have to work through with this one. But what a fun night. Make more space in the gym at the Purple Palace, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. You know, these guys are going to live this one up through the weekend for a long time. I know a lot of these guys are going to get on the hardwood, you know, come Monday. But you touched on it, Devin, and it's just they're right there on the doorstep, right? You get right there, you're knocking, you get the door open, and then you get it slammed in your face. Being around, you know, just with you in the last 4 years, it's been incredible to watch. You know, we've seen the roller coaster of emotions in the last years. We've seen the roller coaster of emotion in the last 7 days, from last Friday to this Friday. But, you know, there's nobody better than Mitch Gebhardt that deserves this win, that this whole coaching staff, you know, the fans. I mean, the fans down here, when I went out on the field, this is a big stadium, and they outnumbered Nemaha 7-1. I mean, it wasn't even close. So,
yeah, I was worried about you down there, bud.
Yeah, I got terrified down there, but Mitch made sure to find me first, so that's all that matters. But, you know, Devin, as we get ready to close this out, heck of a year, my friend. It was a fun ride.
Absolutely. It always is. And as we always like to say, there's not a Mexican restaurant in the state that's safe when we go out and we do Southeast of Saline football. So for the final time from Gowan Stadium on the campus of Hutch Community College, 24-24, your state champion Southeast of Saline Trojans win it 36-28 over Nemaha Central. Your 2024 state champions in Class 2A is Southeast of Saline.